happened. I don't even know how that happened. All right, we're gonna hop in right now. All right, yeah, I only did half the music because we're doing half the stream, so I think that makes more sense. How you doing, MauLer?
Perfect. I'm doing fabulous. When you said it was upside down,
That is the perfect iceberg. I don't even know how that happened. I've never seen that before, like ever. That's absolutely ridiculous. That just occurred. I
it feels kind of perfect though, next to like the floating dragon gif. Just
This is how I do the pinball stream. I usually put like a GIF there, so it's like something's happening on the side. With the iconic, we got the Fortnite stills from the brand new
yes,
skins that released. Yeah, dude,
yes.
it's absolutely perfect. I can you guys tell that I spent months building this setup right now? This is like it's definitely not my intro backdrop overlaid with a low opacity to make it kind of look like it's just like a waving background.
I think it just looks so good, man. My God, they be proud.
So obviously, I think most of you know MauLer. If you don't know MauLer, we've done multiple EFAP episodes along with EFAP movies that you've probably seen. I think I probably have publicly like 22 appearances on your show in like 2 years, 3 years now. 3 years
That's
now,
so
right?
funny. Publicly, it's like this is still a surprisingly large amount of things yet to come for people for the horrors you've seen.
Oh, by the way, please let me know about how the audio levels are because I don't really have guests. That's not we don't do that anymore over here. So you got to tell me if the audio levels are okay. But yeah, I think in 2023, right? We did the Boogie conversation. Well, not even conversation, the Boogie stream going through the documentary that was
Documentary, yeah.
made where we forced the audience to watch the Boogie sex scene.
Yes.
Actually, no, wait, you scammed them. The show is called Every Frame a Pause, and you guys didn't show the frame where Boogie was having sex in the bathtub.
Well, then that makes sense, doesn't it? We didn't pause the ones we didn't show.
Dude, that was the only one, the only one that wasn't paused on and documented thoroughly.
To be honest, I think they thanked us for not pausing that one.
Oh,
We
dude,
had some guests who were losing it with that, I think, from memory. Like ER was he was struggling, man. Like vomiting and stuff. It's very natural, but
did
you
I
can't
ever
help but feel bad.
did I tell you the story of how I even got into Game of Thrones?
I thought it was just you were just like, I'm just gonna watch it, and
Can I
then you
say
did. I
something
didn't
unique?
realize there was
I really
like
like
it
it.
was this story there. Let's go.
No, there actually is a story to it. You'll actually remember it because I was like, "Should I watch Game of Thrones?" And I think your response was fucking no. Just immediately no. And then I think you gave me a list that I still have written down somewhere of like 7 really good shows, or like 5 really good shows that I have to see. But I was just coming off the loss of watching Stranger Things season 5 somehow disappoint me more than 3. So I was like, you know what? I need to feel a different community's pain. I have to watch this. I have to know why this show was so good. I have to know what happens to ruin it. I have to see the train wreck happening. I have to enrich myself with the lore of George R. Martin and his very iconic not writing books. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to subject myself to this now. And we are meeting right now in this conversation at the zenith point. So if you guys don't know, we covered we didn't cover anything yet, but we're covering seasons 1 through 4, episode 9. So I haven't seen where the shark
Which
jumps or something, like where
yeah, that's
everything.
actually unusual for a lot of people because a lot of people think that season 5 is where it starts to go downhill. I'm special that I choose that particular episode, especially because the episode you've seen up to I also consider the greatest one. So the death of the show and the greatest episode to me are like next door neighbors, which is kind of crazy.
It's and it's definitely not the worst episode of the show coming up, right? It's the worst episode of the show so far. Uh,
Yeah, it
and-
does some irreparable damage. But
yeah.
it's not over as a result of that. It's like the rest of the show will take care of that.
And it's funny because I don't really know a lot of people who haven't seen Game of Thrones, but because my media literacy is so terrible, I literally just didn't see. I've never watched The Walking Dead either, and now that has more spin-offs than even this show does.
Well, so that's kind of funny how you've started up watching this in an era where it's kind of got a little bit of a resurgence thanks to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and House of the Dragon. Two different TV shows that are coming out at different. One is like 300 years prior to Game of Thrones, and one is 100 years prior. So enjoying those ones, it can trick people into thinking, I kind of like everything in this universe. And you're like, no, you don't. And then it's such a horrible position for so many people too, because either you go to a show that's got a horrible ending and ruins everything, like worse than Stranger Things from a lot of accounts, or you go to the books that don't have an ending for basically anybody. So
Yeah.
your avenues are not great, but that's the thing. The universe is so much fun. There's so
Well,
much
also the
interesting
books
shit
kind of
going on in
end
it.
where I'm at, right?
It's kind of hard to pin it down that way because the continuity is not quite the same in terms of how the story's progressing. Much more, I say, much more linearly in the show for the timelines, but the books kind of they push certain things further forward than other things, and then like retell events based on. So yeah, he's like, but yeah, somewhat. Like they run out of book material, I think, completely when you hit something like season 6. I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I am, dude. I have been itching to find out what happens next. I think I've been at this point for about 2 weeks now, to the point where I went back and I rewatched season 1. And I'm going to talk a little bit about season 1. I figured we would start this discussion kind of trying to do it linearly and see where it goes. But
Uh-huh.
watching season 1 a second time felt like watching the show. It felt like watching a different show because I spent so much of the time in season 1 just getting my bearings on the universe. Like you're just slammed with character after character, plotline, like alliances, just learning like locations as well. One of the coolest things about season 1 is that I'm like, oh, so these are the characters that I'm going to be with for a while, and then I'm not realizing at the end of the scene is the last time they'll ever speak. You know?
Yeah. No, yeah, there's really cool shit when you go back for stuff like that if you are as invested. Like, to be clear, because, this show was nearly going to be like my favorite piece of media when it was at its high point consistently.
I
If it had
remember
maintained,
you were talking
like,
in a drunken rant, and I'm saying that almost with a negative connotation. That cannot be further from the truth. When you were playing Bloodborne, and that was also like another key factor in why I needed to see this because you were explaining Tywin and Tyrion.
yeah,
Yeah,
every one of Tywin and Tyrion's scenes are like 11 out of 10 in the show.
I've gone back and watched video essays breaking down like it's like you can clearly see right here that Tywin flexes his eyebrow, and that's all the acting he needed to convey. But he's the pen is mightier than the sword, the man, basically.
Yes, the inspired casting too, because Tywin was a pretty like interesting character anyway. But Charles Dance, holy fuck, he plays him like perfectly
Yeah, he's
to the point
fantastic.
where I end up liking Tywin a lot more in the show than in the book.
Oh, a little off
Uh,
topic. They always say that like he was the fan cast to replace um, Ghost Tarkin in Rogue One, and I kind of wish
oh
they did
yeah,
that.
yeah, he could definitely have done that. But they went with whatever that was, like the
The,
CG
the
talking.
the early Abomination. I think it's gotten worse since then. Like that was a little uncanny valley, but I don't think it's necessarily gotten better when they've tried
I
to do
mean,
that.
the thing they haven't conquered with CG yet is you need time. Like any studio making anything needs time, and that's the one thing they do not care for in Hollywood. It's like, no, gotta go, get it out. So, yeah, like even though we're further along, they end up looking like worse a lot of the time. Because, but hey, AI will fix that. Don't you worry.
Yes, dude. Well, I think Disney just shut down their whole AI thing yesterday, which, by the way, literally 24 hours after I explained how AI is here to stay, Disney got out of their deal
I
and
mean,
Sora AI is destroyed.
that's like it's kind of like that conversation about the AI bubble. It's like the popping of a bubble does not mean it goes away. Like it just they calm down, reformat. Like I imagine Disney are not done with AI,
No,
nor is any company.
it'll just
But
come
it is,
back in a different form.
yeah, it'll be like Palpatine, you know?
Yeah, dude. Somehow he's returned. He was always coming back. All right, so just kind of going through for season 1 in particular, I think that going into this, people were asking me initially who my favorite character was, and I guess for the plot line I would start to talk about is one of the ones that I think gets significantly worse throughout the show so far. I thought Daenerys Targaryen was awesome in season 1. I don't know if that's like a hot take. She has like nothing to do after this, but I liked the whole like her kind of coming to terms with the fact that she like has the I don't want is it powers or whatever, like when she puts her hand in the fire, it doesn't burn, and then realizing that her brother does not share that ability.
Yeah, that's like a a made up thing for the show, as far as I'm aware. Which I would be inclined to agree though. I really liked her in season one because she's very much like the way she's rising to power is really awesome, and the sort of the books, sorry, the eggs the hatching and stuff is you watching it all unfold. Basically, everything collapses gradually, but then she's got this like foot up, and you're like, oh, okay, interesting. I still like kind of like her in season two
She
and
just doesn't
three,
do
and
anything.
then
Like her role is, it's not diminished, but like it turns into, I don't know, it kind of veers off the path. And
also
like,
here's the thing. There's so much context to add to why certain perspectives develop for Daenerys. I say part of it is like Emilia Clarke is actually so much better suited to not playing female characters that are very definitively dominant. She plays them very one note, unfortunately, and you just start to notice this if you watch anything post like season 3 of Game of Thrones, plus her Sarah Connor in Dark Fate, plus
she was fucking Sarah
the
Connor.
she sorry, not Dark Fate, Genesis. She was Sarah Connor. It was horrible. And then of course when she was Gaia in Secret Invasion in Marvel in MCU, you know that, you know them, and yeah, she kind of plays the same. I don't know who told her to do it, but she locks in as like this very monotonous, very definitively frozen-faced character that treats almost everybody the exact same way and seems to be very far up her own ass, which is important as part of the character to some extent. It's just that you see her playing happier, more bubbly characters, and you're like, oh my god, she's like, look at those range of expressions and emotions. And she just got typecast thanks to Daenerys into this role. And what's funny is like, this is hard to say because of the fact that I have season 8 in my head as well. But as time goes on, I just slowly start to find her really annoying. I think it's because I don't see her change enough.
It's funny you mentioned Sarah Connor because it reminds me of like, oh wow, you brought in what's her name, and you used her as Dr. K in the season 5 of
Oh,
Stranger Things, and she's just
God.
like, she just does one thing the entire time, and it is not interesting.
Well, there's that behind the scenes thing, right? Where she said, you don't need to know the motivation of a character; they can just be evil. Like, I guess so.
Yeah. No, I like everything that's happening. When I was watching it the first time through, I assumed that the Dothraki were actually going to cross I forgot the name of the body of water, not the Red Sea, but you know what I mean. I thought like that's where this was going. The Dothraki are going to invade, and eventually I do get that kind of quote unquote invasion, but it's not them. It's Stannis Baratheon, and probably my favorite episode in season 2. We'll get there eventually. Um,
Um, well, if depending on how much you know about future seasons, one of the big criticisms is what they do with the Dothraki in season 8's The Long Night. But don't worry about it; you're not there yet.
it's just cool having a faction that's so different than everybody else, in terms of
Oh
like
yeah,
at this point of at this point of the story. It also feels like they're kind of drip feeding magic in season 1 a lot. Like they open up immediately saying, hey look, this is a huge issue, there's fucking zombies in the forest. And then it turns into it like looking back on it after watching 4 seasons and seeing stuff that happens in season 3. Starks and Lannisters starts to feel a bit melodrama in the grand scheme of what's actually happening at that moment in the region, but it's still
yeah,
so
which
interesting.
is kind of the intention, and it's something. What's funny because when I first ever watched this show, that first scene, I remember being like, "Holy shit, they look so fucking like badass and scary." The forest zombie people. And then it was like, and this, by the way, no criticism of the show. It was like name, house, location, name, house, location, different part of the universe, location, name. And I was like, I'm not gonna remember all that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And
that's why the
then,
second watch through is so like,
yeah,
yeah, I
well,
think it's necessary.
I think I got as far as watching 2 episodes on my first attempt, and it wasn't even a matter of like I refused to watch this. I was like, all right, I'll watch more later, and then I just sort of forgot, and I was like, oh well. But then it got recommended enough again because season 2 had come out, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll make sure I watch more than like 2. And the second time I watched the 2, I was like, well, yeah, I remember that person, and I know they go there and that, and I was like, wait, this is starting to make more sense now. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, I got hooked, and then blasted through, and then got really mad that there was only 2 seasons, and I was like, what the fuck? Give me more.
So for just general plot, I guess to kind of give us I assume most of the audience watching has actually seen the show. If you haven't, I thank you very much for coming to watch a conversation about a show you've never seen before. I recommend you check it out. Right now I do. Maybe in the second half of this, which will inevitably be on MauLer's platform, maybe I won't recommend starting the entire journey.
Maybe
Then maybe I'll watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms and go, you know what, maybe you should just go for it. I don't know, who knows. But in season 1, the main kind of thing starts off, you're led by protagonist Ned Stark, who I'm sure you'll spend a lot of time with throughout the course of the show. He's pulled in by Robert Baratheon after Jon Arryn. Jon Arryn is dies suddenly of natural causes or poison that is that is undetectable, as Varys says later on. Varys being the guy whose penis was cut off.
That's how we identify.
Dude, he's the iconic, the penisless man. Dude,
all this is going to do is like spark random memories. I love Grandmaster Pycelle is such a little bitch when he's talking about what evil people might do poison. He says, "Yeah, women, eunuch."
He's
Lord Varys is a eunuch. It's like, you're not a slick, bro.
No, he drops like another racist line after that, where he's just like, yeah, it's crazy how he got in here, or something like. There's like a line after that where that's fucking funny too. I hated that guy in the first watch through. I find him more interesting. Isn't there a scene where he kind of just starts like walking normal? I forgot what season.
Yeah,
this was
at the end of season, they do that at the end of season 1 though. And everyone tends to agree on this. There's a deleted scene with him and Tywin. I'm not even sure if you've seen it, but it's like one of the best scenes ever. And they didn't put it in the show, and it's so sad. It's basically Tywin just like tells him he knows he's lying about everything, and that if he doesn't start like working for him exclusively, then he'll just put him back in fucking prison. And,
I kind of just figured that was the whole play, though. Like, I thought he was just kind of a Tywin dick sucker for the majority of it.
He's a Lannister dick sucker, but because he was sort of for Tywin with the Mad King sort of era, but then when Cersei was the only major Lannister that he cared about, he sort of worked for her, and then it was her versus Tyrion, and he chose Cersei. And then Tyrion put him in a black cell, and then Tywin was like, I guess you're not useless.
Oh god, I saw a spoiler. This is something I'm going to bring up. I was going to bring up at season 4, but I'll bring it up now. What the fuck happens to the Lannister haircuts throughout the course of the show? I always bring up hair on this fucking stream, which means when I'm 40, I'll probably end up going bald for all the bald comments I've made and stuff. But Jaime Lannister's hair gets massacred after season 3. Is it after 3 or 2? When he has like the long hair because he was like a fucking captive, but after that they give him like the Will bowl cut looking thing. I don't know what the fuck that is. And then Cersei's hair after her whole walk of shame is just absolutely terrible. And I've seen screenshots. I think she has that for the remainder of the show. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah. The other thing for Jaime is he goes from having like Prince Charming hair and in color and like shape, and then it goes like brown by the time you hit the end of
that was something I noticed is, dude, Tyrion's hair is much lighter in the first couple episodes, and then just not really anymore.
It always felt to me, I never found this out or anything, but like I just assumed that the actors were less and less inclined to either dye their hair or to wear wigs. They were just like, can we just have our hair instead?
It's the Better Call Saul Walter White thing. It's like, nah, I think I'll use a bald cap this time for this scene. I'm probably not going to shave it off again. Oh, that's another thing I want to point out, because people are talking about like budget and stuff like that. Going from The Last of Us to this, in terms of HBO, which by the way is a crazy transition from shows, the budget in terms of costume, set design and stuff, I think streaming. We should be back now. Yep, okay, we're good. It says excellent. That means nothing went wrong. I'm just kidding.
Great.
We're back. Sorry. Just type refresh if you're seeing this already, so everyone else knows to refresh. The peanut got me. Yeah, dude. The faithful sheriff took out my stream just now. It was definitely him. But yeah. I think the set design for The Last of Us is fantastic. Game of Thrones set design is amazing as well. At least in the seasons that I've seen. But the costume design looks awesome. Like, going from The Last of Us, where they're in like a post-apocalyptic world years later, it seems like they're wearing like there's no shortage of brand new, unfucked up, not dirty clothing, whereas everybody in the show just looks fucking stinky. They look dirty and stinky. Like, Arya leaves the castle for like 15 minutes in season 1, and she comes back covered in mud, basically. She's just like, she looks like a peasant within fucking like a couple of scenes. Oh god,
Yeah, I like the costuming, but there's complaints about armor for the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones, so I'm not as equipped to be making them.
dude, you're not gonna believe this. The chat flipped again. I don't even know how that. I don't even know how that happened. I don't know the mechanics that would make that happen. Um, wait, is this good? Oh my god, now it's upside down. What is going on? Okay, sorry, dude. I'm a professional streamer. I promise. I do this for kind of for a living, somewhat as like a extended hobby. I'm sorry, I cut you off, but yes.
No, just the like costume. I'm a big fan of them as well. I like all of the crazy shit they have for relation to houses, like the thematic stuff. But then, I know that there are complaints about certain things from how they've translated from the book, as well as certain like functionality of armor and stuff, which I would be less able to explain. But just want to acknowledge
I
it
think
as
the
well.
only notable armor that I'm aware of is Valyrian steel. That's the only thing that I think I've picked up on, unless I've missed like a ton of
I meant
stuff.
like armor in general. You're talking about like a particular metal, I guess.
Oh, oh, then
Yeah,
yeah, I'm completely
like as
off
part of
then.
costuming.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, so let me kind of dive back to because we jumped off the plot thing. So Ned Stark goes to the capital. He goes to fucking King's Landing to become Hand of the King. And then while that's happening, Bran. Well, it was even before this. Actually, it is, dude. On the second watch through, it's crazy that all the Lannisters are like there with Robert
Yeah.
Baratheon, who I also want to talk about at length as well. Jesus, there's just so much to talk about with this show. They're all just at what's it called? They're all just in the
Winterfell?
north. Yeah, they're all at Winterfell together. It's like most of these, so many of these characters have like no lines together ever again. That just blows me away because there is just so many characters, there's so many things at play that these guys will literally just meet once. Because I really enjoyed the dynamic with like Jaime Lannister and Brienne of Tarth, and I'm like, I don't know if these characters, I don't know if they're ever going to talk again after season 3. I have no idea if that's if they're ever going to see each other again. You know,
Maybe they will.
maybe they will, maybe
Maybe.
they won't. Who knows? But yeah, it's that's the other one. But so yeah, Ned Stark goes to the capital. The Bran being the son that matters. I don't even remember the other son's name. I have to go to my cheat sheet for this. I
Maybe
don't think
Rickon.
Rickon doesn't do shit. I think he's like, the most that I've seen like Rickon. I don't even remember what is Rickon's significant thing in the first 4 seasons of the show.
He's kind of like a bargaining chip, I believe, for the most part. And
Yeah, he
then
comes up
something
with like
happens to him.
Reek.
Well, you don't have to worry about him. Certainly not the show.
Wait, what?
Rickon, you don't have to worry about him.
Oh, he's just irrelevant the entire show.
Well, that's not how But I'm avoiding potential
Oh,
spoilers,
okay.
even though it's part of seasons and storylines I don't like. But hey,
Dude, these are the bad ones. These are the bad plot points.
yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so you got him. You've got oh, dude, another one who I really didn't like, and I still kind of don't like is Sansa. She's just kind of
Yeah,
boring. She doesn't really. She does stuff like they give her things to do, but I don't
he
really
does
find her.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, dude, in the beginning, there's that like really awkward scene where she's like, "No, Daddy, you cannot take me away. I love Joffrey. I love him so very much. I do not want to leave Joffrey." And then like, I don't know how many scenes away are we from watching Joffrey pull out the crossbow and then make the hookers like mutilate themselves?
Yeah, not too well. Okay, first of all, you gotta respect Sansa. That's Lara Croft right there. She's filming right now, so yeah, we're gonna be getting. It's gonna be great. So she also turns up in the X-Men movies, and Sophie Turner, right? She's not very great actress wise, and then Sansa's not the most interesting character anyway, so it's just kind of a combination of
That's what I was
you know.
told. It's like you have these actors that are getting popular, these plot points that were popular in earlier seasons, and the books just don't have them doing stuff because they're focusing on all these different characters that never even make it to the live action.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's like a ranking of most loved and most hated. She just I don't really hate Sansa. She just kind of exists.
So, when Ned gets to the capital, obviously things are going on with Bran because Bran is pushed out of the window by Cersei and Jaime. Well, Jaime specifically because they're having incestuous relations in a tall dude. They're like, hey Bran, you need to stop climbing things, and he's like, I'm gonna climb things, and then his legs are gone, dude. Like immediately. That was just that was his early thing that he was doing,
Man,
and
he was a good climber. He just got screwed over.
I forgot what video I watched. I would shout out the creator, but I was informed by YouTube that George R.R. Martin kind of wrote this as a criticism of Lord of the Rings, right? Whereas, like, kind of just the dynamics of that world and how it functions, and how somebody who's almost like a warrior or whatever would just make a great king and everyone would live happily ever after. And the criticism point for him is like Robert Baratheon, where Robert is like this conqueror who becomes just this fat loser who doesn't want to lead, who's not satisfied with his wife because he's in love with a dead woman, and who just sits there, drinks, fucks, and has other people run his kingdom. I honestly, I think that's pretty cool. Like, I think Robert Baratheon is a very interesting character that I wish we spent more time with.
Well, we'll get a Robert's Rebellion prequel show hopefully at some point. That's really, really good. That's what I hope for anyway. Because I'm also a big fan of Bobby B. He's really well played by Mark Addy. That whole thing with George R. R. Martin sort of versus J.R.R. Tolkien is something that is talked about every day these days with great passion, because people want to sort of fight back at like any particular notion. But if we took it as strictly just an interest in how does Aragorn perform as a king, and what if he wasn't particularly good as a king versus a warrior versus a leader in battle sort of thing, and that is kind of the realization of Robert Baratheon of he loves a lot of stuff that's not leading. Him becoming king was kind of a mistake, and we get to see all that run through, because you were saying like with the hand dying, we get season 1, everything's kind of at peace and chill for as long as Robert is alive, but that everyone's sort of taking advantage of his lack of careful rule. Different characters have found different ways to take more power to push things in particular directions, and all we're seeing at season 1 is basically the end point of that, and then everything by the end of the season kind of explodes into war because he's dead. And if you remember, his solution to problems would just shut up, be friendly. God damn it! Like I hate.
Well,
all
this
of
is
you.
just how I kind of handle YouTube drama. It's like, just shut the fuck up, everyone, just chill out. All right, we're all doing great. We don't have to, you stop fucking doing whatever you're doing. It's pissing everybody off. It's starting a huge fucking problem. I'm just trying to make content over here. And that's kind of what Robert Baratheon is trying to do. He's like, listen, I'm trying to run fucking 7 kingdoms here. You two asshole families need to just like shut up and deal with it. Isn't it better if we don't have to like kill thousands and thousands of people? Which I empathize with that a little bit. Yeah.
Well, when Jaime killed some of Ned's sort of bannermen, like his house guard, sorry, he's like, what the fuck are we doing about that? And then Robert's like, well, I owe his dad like loads of money, so like I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to handle this, because he just doesn't think about stuff like that. He wants toadies. He wants to eat, to drink,
spend all the money, plunge everyone into debt, while the master of coin is jovially letting that happen. Yeah.
Yes. Curious what he might be up to, but yeah, but just broadly that like Robert's not like a bad person, especially for that world, but he totally lets the kingdom fall to shit because he just doesn't care to do any of the stuff that he's kind of meant to do if he's going to topple a kingdom.
Because I don't even know, what does a good king even look like in this world at this point? Like every king that I've seen is horrible.
There's different opinions about who would make for the best kings, and then there's different like temperaments that might be best suited. So you got like the people who are ruthlessly careful and pragmatic about exactly who and where and what should go to where. There's some people you don't know about yet, and like the history of the world is actually getting somewhat filled in by the other shows. Some people would suggest that Ned might have been a really good leader because he probably proved himself pretty well with Winterfell or the North.
But do you think that his honor would have potentially crippled him from making harder decisions?
Well, that's kind of, I think, what Tywin probably would have had for criticism for him, is his interest in trying to be fair and just. He
didn't criticize Ned, but he criticized. I remember he went down the line. It was
it's what he would have said.
Yeah.
like, is the best king an honorable one? It's like, well, it's Ned's interest in trying to protect the innocent or give a chance to the somewhat innocent. He warned Cersei, right, instead of taking her out. And
Yeah, dude, that's a really good. You literally just fired a neuron in my brain. Why the fuck does he kill the guy from the Night's Watch in the beginning when it seems like at Winterfell you just don't get killed? Like they just don't. It's like they don't sentence people to death over there. Like they had the wildling girl who ends up becoming significantly more, she gets more stuff to do later. But she like threatens Bran, and they're like, you know what? She's our guest. She can just wander around Winterfell. And that I forgot was that season 2 or 3.
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but like he broke his vows from the Night's Watch and
No,
abandoned his
I get
post.
that. Yeah, I absolutely understand. Like he has that's what he feels like that's what he has to do. But then it's like there's a rebellion, and he just took on the Greyjoy kid. Like he took on what's his name, Theon. Wouldn't that also be just killing? Like I don't know. Wouldn't anybody else just kill that kid?
Um, because the wildling girl you're talking about, this is like stretching my memory a bit. This is that there's a
The
group
one
of
who
them. Rob like
confronted
kills.
Bran. And then Rob and Theon. Rob kills the first one. Theon puts an arrow in the second one, and they bring him back. And as soon as I guess maybe that's a little different because like at that point everyone's out of King's Landing. Everyone's out of fucking Winterfell, right? Because Rob's gone, and obviously Ned's
Yeah, it's all a
dead.
bit scattered at that point because yeah, Ned's the one that sort of is organizing the you broke your vows, you have to have your punishment, and the one who sentences swings the sword, very by the book sort of stuff. And of course his excuse is like I saw scary monsters, and it's like okay, well, and to an extent, it's like it's not even about whether or not they believe what he saw. It's more so about it's your duty not to do what you've done. You're supposed to go to the wall at worst and tell them all what happened instead of just abandoning your post. So different people, different sort of
And if
results.
John actually got away, do you think that like if he like joined Rob after the death, was it after the death of his father or after his father was arrested? Do you think that fucking Ned would have had John's head?
Probably not. And we've got a couple of examples of that in the universe of protections being given where they wouldn't necessarily if it was all by the book. John will have opportunities more than once to essentially undo the wall stuff. It does happen here and there. Like the thing is, I can't remember how much you know right now, but like Ned has a reputation for being super honorable, and yet people are like, wow, he cheated on his wife and had a bastard. Like, how could he? And it's like, yeah,
Yeah, he
that
wouldn't
doesn't
even
seem
tell
like
Robert
him.
the name of the woman. Oh no, he told Rob the name. He wouldn't even describe her.
Yeah, well, it's a curiosity. It's you might even say someone would say that seems out of character, and who knows? Who knows? Maybe there's more to that story.
Speaking of bastards and kids, I caught this on my second watch, where Cersei says that they lost their first son, and I didn't even realize that the first watch through. Was that actually? Do you think that was actually Robert's son, or do you think it was always Jaime's kids?
Oh, I don't know if there's anything that we can point to definitively for that, like to find out whether or not, but I could buy that it was Roberts because that was really early in their relationship where she said she still thought like that was going to be, like that they were going to have a full relationship or whatever, potentially, but
Mhm.
um, I mean, it's tragic anyway, right?
That scene was
It's
awesome too. Where they're just sitting there and talking about how like their entire marriage is a sham and they both hate each other. Well, yeah, I don't know if hate each other, but they're both like completely disillusioned with the concept of their own marriage.
yeah, I mean, all the Roberts scenes are like really fucking good. The one where he talks to Jamie and Sebastian about the first people they killed.
It feels like all the
Um,
energy of the Robert scenes. As soon as he dies, I then just it moves all my hype over to every Tywin scene because after that Tywin is just that's the one I'm looking forward to hearing talk.
yeah, I mean, there are no bad Tywin scenes. His introduction is he's like gutting a deer or something, right?
I read that they taught him that the day of filming how to just gut a deer live on the set.
And because House Baratheon's sigil this is something they do a couple of times because that fishing scene I was mentioning, so the fish are like the sigil for the Tullys, which are Catelyn Stark's family, and then the Starks are the Wolves, which and then basically Tywin is fucking with all of the sigils for all the houses that he's absolutely destroying in the show, and I wish they'd kept that for that other reason. Like he's. Do you remember in the first episode they come across? I think the Direwolf family because the mother has been killed by like the horns of a deer.
Yes, the 6 little pups that I think go very underused.
But do you like that's one of my favorite bits of symbolism in like the whole show that those two icons of the Stark and Baratheon house killing each other. Basically that Robert by involving Ned and Ned because of his sort of values, like they basically kill each other. Not on purpose, but like it's how the houses come collapsing down because of who they are and where they are at the time.
Yeah.
A stag, yeah. It's so great as like because you watch it all unfold, it's like this seems okay. Everyone seems alright. Yeah, they're a little bit mad at each other, but you know, I don't see this evolving into anything unnecessary. And then Robert goes on his little hunting trip.
I love that scene where where fucking Ned has his like Dokes moment where Sansa's sitting there going, "Oh, he's gonna be my lion," and he's like, "Wait, what?" And then Arya's like, "That's not even his fucking sigil, okay? He's a
yeah."
And he's like, "Oh shit." Oh my god, no, it's an incest child. No way.
the hair color tracking in the book. No, that was like a huge deal when the first season came out for people getting hype in the show because they're like, wait a minute, is that because that's you assume that's what John Aaron found out as well.
Yeah, like everything. Well, yeah, he had to because that was the book that he took out before he died.
Black of hair,
and that's why he was going and looking after every single bastard because they all had black fucking hair.
Yeah,
that's crazy, dude. Because obviously Robert Baratheon got around. I mean, I don't know. In many cases, if you're investigating something like that, I don't know how many bastard children you're gonna find that you could. I guess because normally, like, okay, well, is hair color really? I get the Lannisters have blonde hair, but do we have like 15 children of Robert Baratheon that we can compare this to? Oh wait, yeah, we do actually. Yeah, we actually do have that many. Holy shit, this is so lucky.
Those poor kids, man. They don't have a great fate. When securing that throne.
Yeah, the research that was. I wonder, did they use the whatever John Aaron found, or did they all have these people like locked down? Because I have to imagine, because they explain Robert Baratheon. There's like Cersei explains having sex with Robert Baratheon, so of course I do have to talk about it. Where she's like, "Yeah, dude, he just stumbles in drunk, and he gets so fucked up that he doesn't know that she just doesn't have sex with him." I guess that she like pleases him in other ways, and he just doesn't know that. That's how the children keep popping up. So I wonder if it like how do they track down all the bastard children if Robert Baratheon doesn't even remember half the times he's having sex?
Oh, he's not going to remember who's belonged to him exactly, but there's like an assumption of you could go by who are bastards, who are claiming to likely be Robert Baratheon's bastards, and then who in the flea bottom or wherever else thinks that they are, and then they probably wiped out a few people that weren't. They just doing it to be careful, and there's an information network that information gets around. It's all very cruel and but you know what? You gotta she learned that from Tywin. You gotta wipe out the whole family line to make sure there's no threat.
I think the tail end of season 1, I think the whole season is fantastic. The tail end is like a masterpiece. Like every single episode, there's like just a bomb drop of knowledge that is planted on you, leading up to, which isn't even the last episode, right? Or is it the last? I think it's 9, where Ned Stark gets fucking beheaded. That's crazy.
It's insane, and it was a huge moment, presumably for the book readers when the book first came out when they were reading it. But for the show, it was also insane.
Do you know I didn't get spoiled on that?
How did you not get spoiled?
I watched that in 2026. I didn't know. I knew he died, but I didn't know he died that quick. I thought he was going to die at like season 2 or 3.
It's fucking sad though, because Sean Bean is excellent in this show, and Ned Stark is like kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You back everything that he's doing, even the stuff of like giving chances to people who are super fucking evil. And
Well, that's
Yeah,
kind of the
some would
point, though. You're
say.
gonna make the guy who's going as likable as possible, but I mean that is just kind of Ned's character because everybody else is like evil. Like
Well, I
they're
don't even see it
every
as
dude.
some
Someone wrote
people.
me. They think that someone wrote like I was explaining a thing about Jaime. They're like, dude, rape was legal here. I'm like, it's not. But the fact that you think it is kind of tells me everything I need to know about this world.
uh, he's because some people view it as somewhat cynical, right? That he's like one of the best people in the universe, and he gets killed cruelly, even to the point where his name gets like sullied and stuff. But I just always saw it as it's all consequential. Of he knew the situation. He's warned by several characters like Varys, Littlefinger, and Renly. All tell him like if you do X Y Z, you can sort of subvert or account for what Cersei and Joffrey will do. But he's like, no, there's a way to do these sorts of things, and there's a right way, and I'm going to do that way, you know. And
Do you think if
he,
Catelyn doesn't go to the capital, he survives?
um,
Because he wasn't going to trust Littlefinger, and then Catelyn kind of convinces him to trust Littlefinger, and he turns away Varys, who I think probably would have taken him in a much better direction, and then trusting Littlefinger is what gets his head cut off, basically. Do you think it's women's fault?
it's we do tend to find out by the end of the show that women destroy everything, so it's worth keeping that in mind. And a big key for why this happened: if Tywin were here, Ned wouldn't have died. It's because Cersei can't control Joffrey, which Tywin makes clear when he gets there as well.
But if Tywin was here, Jaime would have killed him. That was one of the criticisms of
to be fair, what Tywin was saying in that is, one, don't attack him, but if you do, you have to finish the job. Attacking him and leaving him alive puts us in a serious, like, bad position. But now that he's alive, you know, keep him alive, because he's an extremely useful bargaining chip. Because he maimed him instead, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, that's stupid.
Dude, that scene is so good, though, because you get Jaime
Yes,
going
Tywin's
there,
intro
and I don't know why Jaime thinks it's going to go well for him to say, like, yeah, dude, I totally fucking embarrassed that loser, right? Isn't that crazy? He's like, why is he still alive? He gets metaphorically undressed in that scene by Tywin.
Yeah. So, yeah, because Tywin would have liked to have traded Ned, you know, in exchange for all kinds of shit. And it wouldn't even have been a good move to just send him to the wall, which is something that I think Cersei suggests. It's like, no, you just want him as a political prisoner.
Yeah, you should send the fucking...
of the North.
Yeah, send the Warden of the North further north. Yeah, I don't know.
He would be happy to go to the fucking wall. They would all welcome him there. He would be... They all love Ned Stark, so... But no, it's a crazy scene. I love the way that it's acted and edited, because everything starts gradually getting out of control. And I think you even realize, along with Ned, like, with what he's saying and who these people are, I don't know that you're going to survive this, dude. And then, you know, everything goes quiet, and you see the birds and the whole crowd just cheering on that he dies, and then it just happens, and you're like, what the fuck?
Well, so, obviously the Mountain goes and fucking pillages, rapes, and mauls an entire village of, like, protected people, right?
Yeah.
And from there, it's kind of implied that Tywin did that, right? And then when we get to, because I remember later in the thing when you're talking about Pedro Pascal's character, when he's like, "Who gave the order to the Mountain? Who gave the order? It was you, Tywin Lannister," right? So his little attack dog runs, ravages an entire village, and Ned Stark does the expected action of like, "All right, we're bringing him in. We're bringing him in. We're fucking sentencing the Mountain to death. We're bringing in Tywin Lannister." And by that point, I mean, I guess what was the end game there? Was it really just to put him in a cell? Like, I think at that point you kind of have to kill him.
Oh, you mean the Mountain or Tywin?
No, I think at that point you kind of have to kill Ned. Ned's saying that you're like this thing. If this goes a different way, Tywin's a traitor of the nation.
If you capture him, then you can't do anything, right? And then he's also your leverage. You can buy back certain things. Like, obviously, we eventually find out he wanted to, because Jaime gets grabbed, and they could have exchanged Ned for Jaime.
Yeah, but was Jaime taken by that point?
No, not by that point, but that's why you don't kill him, because he's going to be useful.
Well,
eventually.
I guess at that point, Tyrion was still captured, I think. Because they didn't know that Tyrion... Yeah, they didn't know that Bronn was just like, fuck it, dude, I'll fight for you. Hell yeah, dude, I gotcha.
It's just, it's the thing of, you know, you can commit to killing Ned, but, like, why. Just put him in a black cell, and you can kill him whenever you want, but you could also keep him alive for any
He's
sort
very
of thing you
well
might
liked.
need.
He's an honorable man. It doesn't really make sense to just fucking
That's the other thing. If you kill Ned, then it's war.
yeah.
You're gonna be like, you're gonna piss off the whole half of the fucking country. Like it's just, yeah, it's gonna be gonna go that way.
In some of the lesser enjoyed parts for me, I don't even say lesser enjoyed because I think the battle between Bronn and I don't remember the unfortunately I don't remember the knight's name,
So
but
Vardis.
fucking dude, Liza is a fucking freak.
Yeah, yes,
Holy
she is.
shit. Dude, George R. R. Martin is like, bro, I don't even want to say this because I don't want to get clipped, but dude, holy fuck, dude. The opening for Liza with like a 10-year-old boy breastfeeding is like absolutely ridiculous. I,
Yeah,
I,
it's weird.
I don't think I could watch this show with anybody. It's an insane thing.
You just have to agree with whoever you watch. It's like, wow, that person's a fucking freak, and you're like, yes, yes, yes.
I think we've
Can't believe she
covered.
keeps that going until season 4 as well.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about. I kind of pushed that entire because I don't really care for most of the plot that happens up there. Later on, when we get to season 4, we get the very iconic Sansa. In some of the most boring Littlefinger scenes, I think, up there
Yeah,
as well. So that's kind of just like a whole thing I really didn't care about. I kind of pushed that out of my memory, and then obviously like the really weird. If I can't have your mother, I'll have you. Fucking
yeah.
Littlefinger. Yeah, it's a dude. There's a lot of weird shit that happens in this show, man. It's fucking insane. But is there anything else from season 1 that we haven't really touched on that's important? Let me go look at my cheat sheet here. We covered. We haven't talked about the wall really. That's something we haven't mentioned. Um, I think that the whole mechanic of like we're gonna go take our that was the other thing. It's like, well, people think that like in my replies on tweets where I've talked about this, like, dude, rape's not even illegal. They literally send their rapists to the wall. The
Yeah.
team of like liars, rapists, murderers are being sent up there to like save the nation, save the entire like Westeros from a villain that they don't even believe exists. It's basically just like they're treating it as if it's a prison essentially, and it's kind of crazy. And I didn't realize this obviously at the time that everyone just seems totally happy to just let John go there and not really kind of tell him what he's in for. And he gets there and he's like, "Oh shit, dude! Everyone fucked me over. Why do they do this?"
Yeah, well, because it's like Ned's being honest in the sense of it's like a really honorable thing to do it, and it's a thing that the family have done forever, many different members of it, and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but your life kind of ends, committing to defending the realm, which is still, again, it's complicated. It's like, well, but that's really good. That's an amazing thing to do.
Is it an
But at the
amazing
same
thing to
time,
do if they don't believe there's really anything outside the wall except for like wildlings? They don't even know at this point that
I mean,
Mance Rayder
wildling
is like
attacks
uniting
could
the
be pretty
North.
serious. You saw one at the end of season 4,
No. But at this point, Mance Rayder is not even a factor. I think Mance Rayder gets name dropped
No,
by.
but wildlings trying to get past the wall is still a thing. Like, Mance Rayder is the one that makes them such that they might be able to actually just topple the fucking wall with how connected they all are. But it's yeah, it's the kind of thing that he might not have done it if he had known more about what it was going to be. Sure, kind of sad in that way, I suppose. But at the same time, it's almost like the slow burn plot because it's going to become like the most important plot line.
Mhm.
But at the same time, as it stands, it's a bunch of horrible people who have been sent there as punishment to become, the soldiers that man the wall against, at this point, the cold. Like, it's not, it's too serious in any real way, or it doesn't seem that way. And
Oh, dude, and
yeah, and he's hated as well because he's like highborn, and everyone's just like, "Fuck you."
we meet the nicest character in the entire show because he has to be nice because he has no other characteristics that are of value. Samwell Tarly.
I thought you were saying he has to be nice because he's fat or something. Like,
But he's got to be jolly, bro.
it's a survival thing.
He has like no other characteristic than just being this humble, nice guy with a fun accent. Dude, that guy's cool. I like that dude.
Yeah, no, Sam is gonna. I mean, by the time you hit, season 4, right? The Watchers on the Wall is such a fucking good episode. But
Yeah.
when he's like, "Open the gate, Pip," and then he's like, "Sam, I won't. I can't." He goes, "Open the fucking gate." And you're like, "Whoa."
Yeah, he does kind of go a long way, and it's funny because he probably wouldn't have survived that long without John. They definitely would have killed him. Do you think
Oh,
that's
John was like, yeah, really good for the wall.
well? To be
Very,
clear, they
very hot.
probably, if it wasn't for Tyrion, they probably would have killed John like immediately. Like, do you think they were just like the two guys? Is it the Pip guy or the other one where they had like a knife at his throat like the first time they met him in the
Yeah, I guess it's hard to say exactly what they would have done. Maybe big old threat, maybe cut him. I don't know, but I guess it's possible they might have killed him. That'd have been pretty mean, though.
dude hazing back then was badass.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Dude,
Very
hazing
careful.
creates soldiers, bro. I don't even know if I'd be mad at that because again, this is just like for the most part, just like rapists are being treated poorly. I don't necessarily think there's a big issue with hazing. They probably weren't very used to taking orders to begin with. Um,
You know, he also got Alistair Thorne, who is such an asshole to John, which
yeah,
is to do with he. I used to know this. It's something to do with like Alistair Thorne fought for the Mad King, I think, and that's why he kind of like hates the Starks and stuff, and then he ended up on the wall as a way of, not being killed. Someone in chat will know that history a bit better, but I always appreciate how much of an annoying antagonist he was, but that when it matters, he actually comes through pretty hard on the wall episode, like as a leader.
hmm
It's I can't go any further than this, but chat will know what I'm kind of alluding to. I really like him on Watchers on the Wall episode. It feels like he's earned his right to be a bit of an asshole to people because of how much he knows his shit and how well he
yeah.
defends the wall.
For oh god, we haven't talked about Jorah at all. Do you?
Right.
Where is the moment where Jorah kind of flips? Because obviously he was totally down to just like report back and get his little piece of paper signed by Robert Baratheon or whoever signed it to give him his freedom. Because he was obviously banished there by Robb Stark for selling slaves. But when do you think
Yeah.
when do you think he kind of goes, oh shit, I kind of want to like
I think
have sex
we're
with this
supposed to
woman?
we're supposed to believe, I think it's the moment where she's nearly poisoned and he stops it. Because that was the plan. That was like Robert Baratheon.
Like
had
it was a
organized
game
that with
time
Varys.
decision.
Yeah, because he had been sent, I think, his pardon, being said, like, you've done your job, good job, which is weird because, like, well, but my job is not over. She's still here. And then he gets suspicious, and then that guy who's offering her, like, a drink or whatever, he's like, I think this is fucking poison, actually. And he only knew that because at the same time as them saying you're released from your job of spying on her, he assumed that it's because they're killing her, which
Dude,
he was
I
right.
think the Warlocks could have did some serious damage if they weren't the creepiest fucking people in the. Would you like to come to the room of the undying? It sounds like a fucking Smiling Friends thing, doesn't it? That sounds like it literally could just be in an episode of the Smiling Friends. It's crazy. Like, dude, that guy's obviously evil. Stay away from that man. Go away.
There's one of the things about Daenerys's plot line that I have trouble with is she'll enter these situations that are like, oh, you're so fucked and dead. And then it's like, no, she's actually better off than she was. You're like, huh? How? It's like, it just sort of works out that way.
Dude, she's the
Like,
mother of dragons. Don't question it. She's fine.
Because, yeah, what happens in Karth, they are nearly left outside to die of starvation or whatever. And then they're sort of welcomed in, and then they're manipulated. And then there's like this huge political coup in Karth that she gets her dragon stolen, and then she's able to. I don't remember how. I think the dragons just burned the dude, right?
Dude, by the fucking by all the gods of the new gods, there's no fucking way that she could have got those. I have no idea how she actually accomplished that. She's in a foreign city and she just gets him back.
It's. I just remember thinking because this kind of happened again then in season 3 with the Unsullied. That kind of works that way as well. It's not impossible or anything. It's just like, oh wow, that worked out really fucking well for her. Especially in a world that punishes the shit out of characters for even doing the right thing. So yeah, she by the end of season 3, it's like, man, she's got like the dragons are growing up. She's got a full army. She's got really good advisors. And then yeah, season 4 and onward, it's just like, so she's actually like gonna destroy everything. And I probably would have preferred a more difficult rise because everything in season 1 felt like it was really earned in the sense that she suffers a lot in that season. And loses a lot of people that she cares about, and including an unborn child. But the other seasons, it just feels like she luckily got the right person in the right moment to make everything sort
I
of
think
work out.
that's
And
what
Jorah
kind
is
of
one of them.
separates one from the others for her plot so far. And obviously, with no spoilers, I've heard it only gets better from here. So I'm looking forward to everything else that they have in store for her. That's the only thing I've been super spoiled on, because Fortnite has decided to spoil it for me in their skin. No, I knew it before that, but that kind of covers, I think, most of season one. I guess now we can kind of dive into like the War of the Five
Oh, you said
Kings.
what about Jorah? We didn't really say anything about it.
Well, he doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't really. Dude, Jorah pops in. He's like, yeah, like he just shows up. He's like, listen, I'm totally down for the cause. I'm respected by the Dothraki. That's kind of crazy too. What did he do to get respected by the Dothraki?
That's test in memory that I don't have. I know
Is
that
that known? Like, that just, dude, that was like a crazy just lore drop. It's like they respected me for it.
we call him Jorah the Andal, right? I think like he must have done work for him at some point. I can't remember because obviously he's been sort of banished for a while. But no, the MVP moment for Jorah for me because I really like the actor Ian Glenn. He's awesome. I love
Yeah.
It's not even his normal voice what he has for Jorah, but he sounds fucking cool.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and then he's just like he's kind of I don't know, I was supposed to say he's kind of a simp. Like his history is I think he like spent all of his riches trying to gain the attraction of like a girl in a tournament, I think. And he's not even a particularly bad fighter as well. Like when he's motivated like that, he's like really solid, but he starts like running out of money, and so that's why he does the slavery shit.
As one does.
Yeah, and then people in chat are gonna know this because I used to know this all way better before Game of Thrones pissed me off. But like he, yeah, I think he, yeah, she did become his wife, but like he had to, it cost more and more and more as time went on, and then he started to find other ways of getting of money, and so he resorted to like selling people into slavery. Ned Stark finds out, and he runs away. Basically, I think that's why, by the way, because his dad is Jeor Mormont, the Lord Commander of the Wall. That's why he's there, because he was trying to like gain some honor back for his family.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he kind of is the first one that starts like the pilgrimage to supporting the cause, where it's like, I think it's season 2 where it happens. The I forgot his fucking name, but like the probably one of the strongest living knights. Joffrey's like, you're kind of old. I don't want to fucking deal with a boomer on my force. I need a Gen Alpha soldier on my side. And he's just like, okay.
That was such, I always just loved that Tywin was like, that was fucking stupid. Like, why did you do that? It's like, he was old. Yeah, and like she said, like, you know, we wouldn't want someone like that, you know, defending my son or whatever, that he says Joffrey didn't die on Sir Barristan's watch. Like, fat lot of fucking difference it made firing him to save your son. And now he works for Daenerys, so good job.
There was a funny line, I forgot what it was, from the Hound when he was talking about the death of Joffrey as well. He said something similar, right? Where it's like he got poisoned. Or, I didn't do anything about that or something.
Yeah, you said what about his fucking taster? Like,
what was I supposed to do?
Dude, the Hound is funny as fuck.
He's awesome. I like, yeah, because you kind of see his thing going on the second watch. I was keying in on it more with him like awkwardly having his hand raised after. Oh, I have to ask because I don't know if my media literacy is dying here. The Mountain killed that guy on purpose, right? During the jousting thing for Robert Baratheon, because everyone's like, "Oh, this is a horrible accident,"
yeah.
but that's the guy who passed the poison, presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all very suspicious, you know?
Everything's very suspicious.
Sure is. The one thing I wanted to mention, by the way, on Jorah was just the fight he has with the Dothraki Screamer guy, who he fucks him up because of his armor. I always remembered that because it's really cool. Shows don't typically respect armor. Game of Thrones is actually one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But Jorah wins that fight almost easily because of his armor. He just locks his I forget what the fucking thing is called. Khopesh is when it's like Egyptian, right? I think I can't remember what exactly the weapon's called, but he just jams it into his armor and then easily kills him. And it was just like, oh my god, the armor, it's useful. Never in the show before have they done that. Armor's always for show and doesn't mean anything, so it was just a
Hmm.
cool moment.
Well,
And,
because it's noticeable how dressed down Braun was when he fought the person at the location's name has escaped me, but with the giant hole, all the
oh yeah,
way.
Arak. That's what it's
Yeah,
called, an Arak.
is that what
But
it's called? Oh, I always call it the Veil.
no, the Arak is the weapon I'm talking about. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. When he's up in the Veil or whatever, it's
Yeah,
noticeable
yeah, yeah.
how much less Braun is wearing in comparison to the dude who's
Oh yeah,
running up
yeah.
to him with a full sword and shield, and she's like, "You didn't fight fair," and he's like, "Yeah, he did."
No, I really like the Bronze Servatus fight. It's good shit. Like choreography wise, satisfying to watch because it's just dodge, 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 one key strike, dodge, 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 dodge. It's like the best Dark Souls player against like some of the hardest bosses. That's how they do it. Just gotta wait and they'll
Isn't
fuck you up.
everything just fucking satisfying to watch? Like this early on, just every time they're even fighting, it's just like, wow, okay, cool. They spent
I
some
don't know, man.
time on
There's
this.
a lot of passion and effort and great performances and just like it's a really cool because a lot of these actors read the books and so they're very into doing all of this. They want to make sure they can get this right. The creators wanted to make sure they could get it right, but I guess after 9 years or however long it took to get to the final season, they were like, you know what? I'm not as into this anymore.
I gotta say, Star Wars is like the most powerful fucking media thing ever. It's destroying shows that aren't even Star Wars. Like properties are just evaporating that aren't even related to Star Wars because of Star Wars. They're getting worse. That's like that is I don't know anything else that has the cultural impact Star Wars has, like a cultural rot.
Well, they never even got to make their Star War, you know?
Good.
So no, I know,
I don't even know
definitely
why
good.
it's good yet, but good. Because the show is good. Like this is, dude. This show is so good right now. Okay, it's frustrating to know what's on the horizon. I'm a glutton for
Well,
punishment. I have to watch it.
no, and I've already had to just accept the fact that I've because like after that last episode of season 4 that we have yet to see, that you have yet to see, I was just like they fucked up so many things permanently that I don't think I could be as invested anymore. But I watched all of season 5 and I was like, okay, so they fucked up a few more things and there's still stuff left, but oh, I don't know if I'm watching this anymore. Season 6 comes out and the exact same thing. I'm like, no, I'm watching it, of course. And I did for season 7, I did for season 8. And season 8, as you are aware, has the most horrible ending ever considered in history. And yet, House of the Dragon comes out, and I'm like, well, I'll be watching that, yeah. You know, it's like, what? Why? And you're like, well, because when this show is good, when this universe is good, it's really fucking good, dude.
Yeah. No, that's what I've learned so far, and I have nothing else to measure it against. Um, okay. I don't. I'm not sure if my question right now pertains to season 2 and 3, but I wrote this down. I don't know if it's 3. So we find out. Obviously, we meet a bunch of new characters in season 2.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna pronounce this name wrong. Melisandre. Obviously,
Melisandre, I think that's right, yeah.
yeah, Melisandre is the one. I don't understand the mechanics of King's Blood. Maybe you could assist me on this.
Well, we're just getting into magic shit at that point. Like,
Yeah,
Stannis,
but
it's,
why
yeah.
does why if you can just put a leech on a bastard child and suck the Robert Baratheon blood through a fucking leech and throw it into a fire and murder like 4 fucking people, why does he have to set his daughter on fire?
Why do you even know that?
That was
Like,
spoiled. I'm sorry. That was spoiled. Is that in 10 or is that the next season?
I want to say that's season 6 or 7. I think 6, that is.
No. There's no way that's a season 6 spoiler.
I don't know what to tell you.
Are you that's season 6?
I think so. People in chat will have to remind me. It's 6 or 7.
Dude, 6 7?
Uh,
I just don't understand the mechanics of King's Blood, dude. No,
no,
they're
everyone's
saying it's 5.
It
They're
could
saying
be
it's
5,
5. I just don't understand the mechanics. Because, dude, there's so many cool magic stuff, but it seems like it just gets thrown in awkwardly. Like, obviously, there's fucking zombies, and we see some fucking. We see, like,
Well,
the White
dragons,
Walkers.
right?
And there's dragons. Dragons pop up and stuff. And then all of a sudden, Melisandre is just like, I'm gonna make you into a shadow man, and you're gonna stab. You're gonna stab
yeah,
your
I mean,
brother. And then
so
I just we don't see anything like that, dude. She's got like they leave her at the battlefield. Why wasn't she just sending shadow people in to go murder everyone behind the gate?
so I actually did it because I hadn't read anything from the books at this point. So season 2, I do think is a I love seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, but I do think 2 is a downgrade from 1. And it's funny because there's loads more Tywin, which I love, but at the same time, I found all of the Lord of Light stuff really fucking weird because I had all the basic questions of this world was created. D&D didn't want to do magic. They don't like it. They wanted to keep everything very grounded, which I think is a shame because there's so much interesting shit to do with the magic in the universe, and if you are clear with it and have a system for it, then it'll work really well. But as someone who was new to all this, watching Renly just get assassinated by a shadow man, I was kind of like, what? That's lame.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, at that time you're dealing with like these major factions of across the country doing all these different things, and then it's like, yeah, but one of the leaders was just taken out by a shadow demon, and
I don't get Renly's whole thing either. I don't know why he didn't just go at Stannis to begin with. Like he has like the least claim out of everybody there.
Renly wasn't done very great service in the show as a character.
Is he better in the book?
I would say so. I think a lot of people feel so. He doesn't. I mean, I think he would have to be because you barely get to know him in the show before he's just out. Not only that, he's supposed to be extremely likable. Like that's the reason why he has so many people following him. And I don't think the actor really nailed that.
It's not even really the actor. He wasn't put in positions to be like seen as likable. You know, like he didn't have a lot of like he didn't really have a shitload of screen time. I think in the first season, if he did, it was forgettable. And in the second one, we're already at like the War of the Five Kings, so he's just like posted up and ready to go. When does Stannis leave the capital? That's before season 1, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
because I don't remember him even being there.
No, he's not in the capital.
We don't see Stannis until 2, I think. Right?
Yeah, he's at Storm's End, right? I think.
Yeah, I think you're correct on that.
Can you believe Brienne of Tarth will go on to be in Star Wars?
Wait, who's she in Star Wars?
I'm just gonna enjoy this moment a little bit and let chat smile. She was she was Captain Phasma.
No fucking way. Dude, no way, bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, iconic character. You remember her. She's so full of character and actions.
She was very shiny.
Oh, Dragonstone he's at. Yeah, sorry, even my geography is... I did not rewatch the seasons before these conversations, but the thing is, what I've been finding as I've been doing Night of the Seven Kingdoms and House of Dragon is just, it's unlocking memories that have been held dormant.
Are they like repressed and sad, or are they happy and like?
Well, yeah, because there's no like it's like a fucking psychology thing of why be invested when it all goes to shit one way or the other. So you just sort of like start losing all of the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But then when there's some hope of, well, you know, House of the Dragon might have a cool last 2 seasons, and if that does, then that'll be fun. And Night of the Seven Kingdoms, like next season's coming out next year. It's like, oh, you can get invested again and start thinking about and talking about all these characters, which inevitably happens. Even when you're 300 years prior to Game of Thrones, some family name will come up, or someone who's really good at fighting, and then someone will be like, hey, well, do you think they would be able to do this with this person from Game of Thrones? And you're like, oh shit, I got to think about that again now.
Now, I know literally nothing about the spin-off shows, but I feel like you can enjoy those in isolation. Again, I have nothing to base this off of, because there just isn't any character, like there's no direct character crossover, and it's so separated that I don't know how the ending can possibly be ruined by like the future. I guess if you can it can be ruined, but like you can view those shows in isolation better because they're so far separated, I guess.
But yes, season 2 gave us a whole bunch of new characters, including Stannis, who is played, I think it's Stephen Delane, who they cast for him, who's perfect.
I like him a lot.
But man, the writing for him is so much better in the books than it is in the show.
Is it really? I think he's pretty chill. I think he's pretty chill.
Maybe I'm influenced by the future that you will inevitably see, but because I like Stannis a lot in the show as well, but Book Stannis has got let's just say he's got a passionate fan base.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm probably never gonna read the books, but I will probably say that I will try to read the books at some point. I just don't know because I'm gonna read back to the exact moment that I'm on, and then he's just never gonna make another book, and then I'm just gonna be like, oh well, that's shit.
Welcome to the rest of the world, basically.
Do you think it would be better if they just never made a season 5 ever? Like the
Uh,
show just got like annihilated, kind of in a similar state of where the books
Everyone would be
landed.
saying what a tragedy and it's so sad and we didn't get blah blah blah, but ultimately it probably would be better, yeah.
So, season 2 brings us to kind of, I think, the start of where I really liked Tyrion. I thought Tyrion was kind of dope in season 1, but in season 2, I think like when he becomes Hand of the King, I'm like, oh, okay, this is fucking cool. This is a cool time. I think that
Dude,
his
his plan to tell three different advisors three different things to see which
yeah.
one would leak the information was awesome.
Yes. It's funny. I heard somebody say this. I'm stealing this talking point again. I wish I knew who said it, but it's like he's kind of the only Lannister that inherited fucking Tywin's brain.
Yeah. Well, and it's so unfortunate because of his body then that he assumes he's not going to be taken seriously. He assumes he's not going to be blah blah. But what we see of him in season 1 and bits of season 2 is that if he just actually gave a shit fully, he probably could have earned that position eventually.
But
But
do
he
you
would rather
not think
drink and
that
whore and stuff.
do you not think that Jaime at full power, because the way that I see Tyrion, they showcase him reading early on, and his position is like, well, I'm not like the strongest, and I'm obviously said like I'm not treated the best or whatever, so I need to kind of be the smartest. So he's reading. Jaime never had to. I assume that guy had everything given to him from a very early age, right?
It's funny you say that because we do get a story that you would have seen right in season 2 of Jamie was not good at, I think, reading and writing and whatever, and Tywin like made sure that he got it learned because kind of has to. Like Tywin wouldn't let him not be able to. He wanted to just do sword fighting and shit, and he was like, no, you're gonna have to be intelligent as well. But the thing is, like, that's the problem with Tywin's family. None of them have all of the traits that he has in full, so none of them can be like his successor properly. But one of the big reasons Tyrion can't, as seen by the family, is because he's like a dwarf. But in reality, it's an event that took place that kind of fucked up
Yeah.
the family dynamic permanently. That
He brutally
I,
killed his mother through birth.
oh, I didn't even mean that. I meant the Taisha stuff that's been
Oh,
mentioned in season 1, and it's supposed to get a very important scene in the last episode of season 4, but they will fuck it up. It's one of my big issues. What I ranted about while I was playing Bloodborne.
so I don't know everything that happens, but I did see your Bloodborne rant where you said they kind of just didn't pay off the Taisha thing because they mention it like it's kind of set up at this point, and then it just doesn't.
Yeah, it's because I had read ahead at that point of watching the show, and I know that it sets Tyrion on a particular arc. It gives him a lot of motivations in particular ways. The way that the dialogue is weaved between him and Jamie is very specific, and it allows a lot of information to come out. You have like fucking 7 minutes of the episode left or some shit, and I was just like, oh god, they're gonna have to be quick to cram this in. And then they just miss key moments of the back and forth between Jamie and Tyrion. And I was like, uh-oh, like you didn't do that, you didn't do this, and the way they contextualize the event, they change it. And D&D had said something like they just didn't have the time, or they didn't want to go through the rigmarole of having this. So when it would have changed fucking nothing, honestly, if you just write the dialogue cleaner. But
Yeah, that
yeah,
sounds
you're
like
gonna
Cope on
see
their
the
end.
episode, and I'll probably go over it when we're watching it at that point of what they do wrong. So that then has consequences for the rest of Tyrion's timeline, essentially, and Jaime's, to be honest, and their relationship, and you've said, and I say as well, is like he's like top 3 for me, Tyrion, and he gets kind of fucked up by that event. Tywin doesn't though; he makes it out
But
narrowly.
dude, Tyrion though, his whole thing on getting like the dragon's breath set up, like having that locked and loaded. Like King's Landing fucking falls without the dwarf. Dude, that the whole Battle of
Yeah.
Blackwater that we get at the end of the season is just so awesome, and the fact that he gets none of the credit drives me insane. But it totally makes sense in the universe why he wouldn't. The fuck, dude, what is it? These are brave men marching at our gate. Let's go kill them. Is like one of my favorite. It's literally. I think that's gonna be my favorite quote from the show. Like that is. And then you just watch the little fucking dude just walk out the entire army to go fucking murder everybody. Like that is such an awesome scene. And nothing has made me happier. After that, that is like I think that's my favorite episode of the show.
You can really tell they're taking full advantage of the budget they have too, like the way they shoot everything, how close they keep the camera to all the different actors in different positions. To say, this is Battle of Blackwater and Watchers on the Wall, like the two best fight productions I think in the whole series. And it's funny because the further you go on, the bigger and more expensive they get, and then unfortunately the more ridiculous they get, which you'll find the further you go.
Yeah. With that, we also obviously we mentioned Stannis, but I think we meet the Onion Knight here too, right? We meet Sir Davos.
Liam Cunningham, I think, is the actor, and he's just charming in everything he does.
Now I know for the book thing, he's just not really a factor, but he was just likable, so they kept him around.
Dude, he's so likable. He ends up being like the main character nearly by the time he reached the end of the show. He's so significantly got screen time. He's advising everyone. It's insane. Davos is awesome, but like, yeah, the actor. There's a couple of examples of that in the show. The actors doing so well that people want them, want more of them.
Dude, he's fucking cool. Him surviving by just like showing up on a rock or whatever kind of caught me off guard. But other than that,
yeah,
that was the only one I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm glad you're here. Is that where he died in the book?
No, I'm pretty sure he keeps going in the. I'd have
in
to
the book,
check.
he washed up on the rock too.
I can't remember what happens with Davos in the book. It's like a melted knowledge between. Sometimes I don't remember if it was in the book or in the show with certain events at this point.
Yeah, when you're talking about like the fight, like choreography and like the way that they shoot these large scale battles and stuff, I think that's very evident. Like the War of the Five Kings, like they pick very specific things to show us, and a lot of stuff does happen off screen. And while I probably would have liked to have seen some of that happen, I don't super miss it either because there's just so many other things happening that I want to get back to.
Well, it was season 1, right? Tyrion, when they're about to start the battle with Tywin's army versus the sort of splinter force that Robb sends. We don't see any of it. Tyrion gets knocked out and then he wakes up and it's over. That was obviously an example of they had to save budget. And it's like, well, we'd love to see these battles and everything, but at the same time, it's like, as long as you're nailing everything in terms of the story, like, we'll be fine with it. And then, of course, the reverse happens the further along you go. They get you the big CG battles and all crazy shit happens, but, like, it's all fucking nonsense. Specifically, the bells and the long night in season 8 are, like, two of the worst battles in the entire series that destroys everything. And it's like, yeah, well, they look good. And you're like, uh-huh. I'm glad I saw all of it, I guess.
The chatters are demanding we talk about Arya, and we definitely shouldn't leave 2 without talking about Arya because she meets Stranger Things man in this season. That's what he plays the same fucking character in both shows. Dude, they get to prison and then
Jack and Hagar.
Yeah, Jack and Hagar. I don't even remember his name in Stranger Things, but he has like the same accent and he's just like, I'm going to get you out of here.
I mean, he's pretty awesome in the show. What's interesting about Arya, though, is the more time goes on, the less I like her. I like her a lot more in the earlier seasons.
I mean, I don't find myself disliking anything yet.
She becomes the very clear favorite. Game of Thrones known for not having plot armor. She has several significant moments of plot armor, but there's one, and I don't mind saying it now because this happens way later. She gets stabbed with like a 4-inch knife in the belly like 7 times. Ooh. In different places, and then tossed into a sewer.
That sounds like it's not even compatible with the show that I'm watching if she survives that.
that happens, and she heals up fully because she has some chicken soup.
Oh,
It's the most like. I'm
that's
sorry, I don't
cool.
think that's how that works. Like,
Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know if I like that.
it's it doesn't make any sense. It's the kind of thing. It's like, oh, the people making this didn't fucking like. How are these guys the same ones that made season one and everything? So it doesn't make
But
sense.
I love the subtle like nods. I remember there's like the fucking hooker in season one who's like, I've been with men who can change their faces, and then we meet fucking what's his name? We meet Jack and
Jackin?
Hagar
Yeah.
in season two, and yeah, he can change his face. He's like one of the most skilled murderers I think probably in the show.
He nearly gets Tywin. If Tywin hadn't left in time, she would have told him to get him, which I would have been very sad
That's
about.
also insane that we spend a bunch of time with Arya and Tywin.
I love those scenes. They're all custom made as well from the show. They're not from the
That's
book.
not book material?
No, not Tywin with Arya. All the dialogue they have, and it's pretty fucking good too. Some of the stuff they talk about, and the way that she's trying as a kid to stay secretive, but she keeps giving away pieces that make Tywin really curious. But he never entertains that she'd be, a fucking Stark.
He kind of starts picking up like you seem to know a lot more than I would expect, and like oh you
Well, yeah, he's like his
wasn't it like
father
oh
was
you
a
can read
well-read stonemason.
yeah
Like, yeah.
I feel like if
Uh,
that went on any longer he would have started piecing shit together.
oh yeah, the more information he just
It's like
never
where did
would.
they pick
He's
you
got a
up? You were
water
going to
run. So.
the wall. Where did you come from? Like I don't know. I feel like he eventually would have gotten it, but yeah, no, the scenes in there, I mean,
Well,
they
one of the
get
parts I
tense.
always remember is when he's asking her what the reputation of Robb Stark is, and she says like he rides his direwolf into battle, he can't be killed, and then he's like, do you believe that? And she's like, no, any man can be killed, and she's looking at him, and he's like, kind of curious. It's like, huh? Because of course she wants him dead more than anything. There's such great little like expressions and dialogue throughout those scenes. It's good stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Is there anything else before they leave the prison? No, she kind of just tells him who to kill. He kills everybody, and they go off, and she escapes. Um, what else? We haven't talked about Theon at all, but I don't really know how much we need to really touch on that. Theon kind of gets pushed. He gets like pushed a couple times in season one. He gets like jabbed at by especially the old dude from House Stark. Is just like kind of like taking little, and you could tell he's really insecure. And then obviously he goes home and his fucking dad treats him like, like he's basically not even his son because he didn't grow up there, and
Yeah.
he's just like he just goes into full like psycho mode. It is kind of awkward watching him come back. He's like, Brad, I'm taking the castle. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm taking the castle. Your mind out. No, you're not. What are you talking about?
It's brutal, man. Like when I was first watching, I was like, why is he being such a dick? And it's just like, yeah, I guess Theon's gonna make some mistakes, and it's gonna cost him big
Why would they
time.
send him back there though, knowing that like what was the inevitable like they're sending back somebody who's technically their captive, who they joke about being their captive. There's a scene with Rob where Theon is like, "Oh, you should get your first kill, Bran, because this person's like fucking defenseless." He's like, "You can't do that." And it's like, "Oh no, it was before this. This is before the scene where he's like, you're not from our, you don't share our name, so I'm not really interested in what you have to say." So they're obviously
Yeah.
taking little jabs, like, "By the way, you can go home and get your dad to come fight for us or something, like your dad."
Well,
And then he talks about when he goes back, he's like, "Yeah, we have a rich culture of raping and pillaging women."
I think it was warned right to him about I could forget. 'Cause there was a bit
Catelyn
of a
was like, "You
discussion.
shouldn't do
Yeah,
that, right?"
Catelyn. Yeah, because there's Theon seems to be implying it's like, nah, man, I'm very pro Stark. I want you guys to kill the Lannisters. I'll get help from the Ironborn. It's gonna be great. And it's like, sure, but you also have a lot of reason to hate us, and your dad's definitely not gonna like us. And it's a little bit more complicated. And the Ironborn you could expect would just start their own fucking shit anyway. Like we don't want to be with either team.
I think you could write
So
it off as like Rob's not his dad, but he kind of has to try to be right now because he's at war. So he made a lot of bad calls. That wouldn't be his only bad call he made, obviously.
yeah, Rob makes a bunch of mistakes for sure.
Getting married in the middle of a war after he was fucking like basically signed away. which would ultimately.
Yeah,
Do you
he
think that,
married the
he
girl
gets
from
killed
Avatar
though?
3.
Wait, what? She's from
That's
Avatar?
yeah, she's the one that everyone was memeing about. I think Varang was her name in Avatar 3. It's
I watched
Una
2 with you
Chaplin.
guys, right? I haven't seen 3, right?
I don't. Yeah, we didn't watch 3 with you. No.
Okay, yeah, I don't. I saw it because I don't know how I didn't like 2, so I don't know if I want to see 3.
Okay.
Because you're like, oh, she's in Avatar 3.
I
I'm
mean, I
like,
wouldn't
wait, she
recommend it.
was? And I'm like, wait, I didn't see that movie. Of course I didn't recognize. I probably still wouldn't have recognized her, but I definitely didn't recognize her because I haven't seen it. Chat, Avatar 3 is out? Yeah, it is. I remember
It
that.
made loads of
You're like,
money.
we're watching Avatar 2. I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'll come in and watch Avatar 2. What's the occasion? Oh, Avatar 3 comes out tomorrow. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, getting the old refresh on Avatar, Navi. Look at him go.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
But no,
Especially the really
yeah,
racist
Rob
Navi.
made a big mistake with Theon, and then Theon ends up in not the best position, actually, a pretty bad one.
Yeah, I
Um,
think overall, if we're looking at season 2, I agree that it's a downgrade on season 1 because I don't know how do you I don't know. It's I liked it, but season 1 is just. Do you think that season 1 is the best season of the show? Is that safe to say?
it's competitive, but me personally, like some of my favorite stuff is a lot of Tywin in
3?
season 3 and 4. I
Yeah.
love the Mountain and the Viper in season 4. I love all the Oberyn stuff in season 4, and then I love Watchers on the Wall in season 4. Even though season 4 has the episode that, as far as I'm concerned, kills the show for me in some ways. Season 4 might be the one that I edge toward for a lot of like the highlights, but season 1 might be the most consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say exactly.
I guess is there anything else in 2 that you think we really need to touch on, or should we jump over to 3?
We can go into 3 if we remember anything. We'll come back to it.
Yes. So in season 3, Arya is spending a lot of time with the Hound. That's one thing that's happening. We didn't really talk about John with like the. Does he fuck the wildling in 2 or 3?
I think 3. Yeah, I think 3.
It's probably 3. I don't even. To be honest, I don't really remember what he does in 2. Then 2 is like, I guess he
Well,
meets
2
her.
is. I think it's end of season 1. They intend to go beyond the wall. End of season 2 is when he's been captured.
He's been
Pretty
captured.
much.
He meets Mance Raider, and then he
Yeah.
falls in love with her in season 3, and then that obviously, cause yeah, he's in the white outfit in season 3. Daenerys doesn't really do a lot. She gets like the Unsullied this season.
That's the main thrust of it. Yeah.
I think that scene is really cool, where like the dragon's fucking huge now, just comes down and does its thing. Like the concept of the Unsullied thing I liked. That was probably the only Daenerys thing that I didn't find boring the whole season. Jaime Lannister and Brienne of Tarth was probably one of my favorite pairings in the show. They
Yeah.
spend a whole lot of time together. What else is there? Oh yeah, this is the fucking Red Wedding. The Red Wedding's here as well. Rob gets the repercussions of marriage during a war to somebody that you weren't promised to. That's another
Yeah,
one.
the Red Wedding is top tier.
And then
So,
obviously just a shitload of Tywin Lannister.
yes, a welcome amount.
Do you prefer Tywin as Hand of the King or Tyrion as Hand of the King?
For like entertainment value,
I guess just the time spent with both characters.
because I really enjoy Tyrion, but Tywin is just every fucking scene that he's in.
Yeah.
He's owning the scene. He's one of my favorite ones that I just won't forget is when he's kind of just been ignoring and avoiding Joffrey pretty handily. Doesn't give a fuck about him.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point, Joffrey calls him in, and there's everything about the way the scene is filmed is fucking awesome. Tywin's walking in with 2 guards escorting him, and he just stops and moves his head slightly to like the side, and they both stop. And then he starts walking on his own. You know, without a word, he basically just says like, "Stop following me," and then continues on. The fucking steps are like echoing through the whole hall, and he's like, "You wanted to speak to me?" like this is the Hand of the King being summoned by the king, and yet it feels like the reverse because that's how he talks to people.
Yeah.
And they shoot it. If you watch that scene, so much of it with angles that throw Tywin above Joffrey, like you know, for low from Tywin's side, or really far away. They'll have there's like fires going in the whole place, and there'll be a huge one next to Tywin, and then one that's really far away next to Joffrey to make it look small, and then when he's like, I want to be fucking included. It's my council. And then Tywin just like slowly walks up the steps and stands over him and just says like, we can have you carried. It's like, holy shit. And it's everything that he promises, right? Because he says, I'm gonna, Cersei fucked up by letting Joffrey do whatever he wants. And he's like, I will fucking tell him what to do. And she's like, yeah, good luck. And then he does. And he's like extremely successful at it because Joffrey is essentially afraid of Tywin. Even though he does like bite back because he's a petulant little shit.
We haven't talked much about Cersei, but she's just mental. In her own mind, she is the smartest person in every room she enters. I think Robert's like, oh, you're doing the thing again where you open your mouth and your father's voice comes out or something like that.
Yeah.
But she's very impulsive and very not like him.
I hesitate to say this. Robert Baratheon made abusing women one of the most like badass possible moments. It's like, how did you? He hits her, and even Ned is like, "Oh shit!" And then she says,
"I'll wear it with pride."
Like a badge of honor. And then he says, "Wear it in silence, or I'll honor you again." It's like, what the fuck?
Dude, that sounds like it was made for a like if this wasn't 2011, that would be Instagram reels of this.
Yeah. Because you think she's getting like one up on him, and then he's just like, seriously, fuck off. It's like, okay.
And then the next thing he's like, you see what she makes me do to her.
I shouldn't have hit her. It was not kingly. For me, he was so entertaining as all fuck in every scene he was in.
I know. We lose so many good actors so quickly in this show. That is the only thing. It's just like, damn, I just wish we had more time with them.
But he's like, he's about to go outside the tent, and Ned is like, whoa, he hasn't got his proper shit on. He's like, oh yes, a wonderful sight for the kingdom. Bow, you shits.
When he's like, dude, he walks in, he's like, you seem to have gotten too fat for your armor. And he's like, wait, what are you laughing at? Did you find the hand of the king funny? Go fetch the breastplate enlarger. the breastplate stretcher.
He's like, maybe you should have one invented. He goes, all right. Like, fuck off. That's the thing. Those two, you totally buy their like history, despite the fact that they kind of have split completely from their the way they operate.
Yeah, these actors can do a lot with a little. I guess because they're acting, but like, yeah, you really do buy that these guys like have known each other for a while. Which again, when I'm coming over from the previous thing that I watched, which was Stranger Things season 5, where the dialogue is just fucking like spoon-fed to you to the point where there's just no thought at all whatsoever. It is kind of nice that they're denying the TikTokers their ability to be on their phone while they're watching the show. If you were on your phone paying half attention, you missed everything. Literally everything. We're jumping ahead a little here on this one, but you pointed this out to me, that you could see exactly who kills King Joffrey. If you're watching, like, eagle-eyed viewers, I always fucking say that, but you can see it happening in front of you, but you could also miss it entirely, depending on if you're paying attention.
It's really fucking cool, because I didn't notice it the first time around. Then when I think it was because they're just discussing episodes in forums and stuff, and people had a screenshot, and they were like, you can just see right there, she's doing the thing, and you're like, oh my god,
that's crazy. And again, what's it like? That was like, that's not like, I don't know what like, they don't even know that. I don't think we've gotten to the point where that's even like discussed, right?
Yeah, I can't remember when they explicitly say that's what happened, but you do get it eventually of who killed who.
Like, that's crazy. I can't imagine, because I like when I'm watching these shows when they're live or whatever, I like to go hop in like the Reddit threads and read what people are saying. Like, I'll probably do that for Born Again when I start watching it. Yeah. But which, by the way, I'm hearing nothing but good things about MauLer. I'm sure you're loving it.
Everyone said good things about the first episode of the first season.
I love the colors. Okay, the red and blue, that really
gets me. The colors are so good.
The colors are so good. They're so good. Yeah. But yeah, no, I like just kind of participating, and it's like, that's the kind of shit that I really would have. Because, dude, that's the thing I like, when you go, oh wow, look, I fucking watched this 15 times and I'm noticing new things. This is kind of that show, and unfortunately, me watching it in 2026, I really can't participate in those circles, because then I just find out all the plot. So Yeah.
Yeah, and they've all turned to rot at this point. Like it was crazy. This just subreddits that were so celebratory of the show, and then by the time you hit the last season, they're just subreddits where everyone makes fun of the show indefinitely.
Yeah.
That's the entertainment. That's what happens to Star Wars as a whole franchise. Star Trek, Doctor Who. It's all over the place, and Game of
Yeah, but
Thrones
Star
became that
Wars
too.
fans are gluttons for punishment. They just love being disappointed. They show up every single time. This is going to be the different one, and then they just get completely knocked
Yeah,
back down over
but
and
then there are
over.
other portions of the Star Wars fandom that have decided they've gone from the show, like whatever's coming out could entertain them, to oh no, like there's pieces that are good, pieces that are bad, back around to it always entertains because it's so awful. And we're pretty much set on that now because we've only got Filoni and Favreau making Star Wars stuff, and their track record is pretty horrific. So
Bro, D&D has
you
made
know,
like really good 4 seasons of TV. I don't know why they're not going forward with their thing.
yeah, you know, it's what a shame, but. Yeah, season 3 I think is where I was properly like, I think Tywin was just topping the charts for me for entertainment because he has so many. When he
Do
gets
you have
to
a
King's
scene in
Landing,
mind for like
well, the one I was kind of talking about, right? Because like he comes in and you can kind of get the impression that he is the boss of the Lannisters. He was doing pretty well in Harrenhal and he was conducting the war or whatever, but we know that Joffrey's a nightmare and that running this whole thing is actually pretty fucking difficult. But through the writing and the acting, you totally buy that he was right. He knew what to do. He knew all the failures of each of the people involved. He knows how to manipulate them and put them in the right places. And then he starts writing letters. The amount of
yeah.
scenes where he's talking to somebody, bullshitting. For example, Cersei is telling him in a scene how amazing she is and he should take her more seriously. And he's writing the fucking wedding letter. I'm pretty sure that's the scene. It's so it's like the most significant letter to be written in the whole fucking show. And while he's doing it, Cersei is like, "I'm pretty awesome, don't you know?" And he's like, "Okay, how?" And
He does
she's
that
like,
multiple
"Well,
times. He also does that with uh Jorah.
yeah." He just casually is like, "Get me my pen. I'm gonna destroy this whole man's career. Just get me a pen." It's fucking awesome. He really embodies that shit, and it always makes sense, like how he does it mechanically. The Rangers scored.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was if you heard the horn, that was the Rangers. They must have scored. I have a
very happy
physical
for
goal horn somewhere that
you.
just that automatically is synced to the hockey game. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that just kind of dude, that'll happen in the middle of a drama segment too. The Rangers just fucking score and interrupt the whole thing. Even when I don't have
I'm glad they
donation
did.
sounds on, there's always something.
They're my favorite sport team.
Well, Fringy was getting into. I don't want to say it in private shit, but yeah, Fringy was getting into hockey for a minute.
No, yeah, he's probably gonna start talking about it more. I guess I'm not sure. I haven't caught up with him recently on if he's still hockeying, but I don't know. For me, there's always been a big old wall manned by the Night's Watch between me and
Sports
sports.
ball.
So,
True.
I'll
I
have to get
remember,
that someday.
Phil DeFranco? I imagine you've heard of Phil DeFranco.
Yeah,
He used to sell a T-shirt that just said "sports" right on his shirt. It was just a shirt. If you want to like support sports, you can buy my merch or whatever. It just said "sports."
I
Um.
mean, it definitely covers all the sports.
So, out of the two huge fucking reveals, which I think we should probably jump into here, the second one, do you think the Robb Stark red wedding was more surprising than the Ned Stark like
Yes.
killing?
Uh, so I was lucky to have not known that the Red Wedding was going to happen. It's weird because my memories are all messed up in terms of like exactly when I read the books, but I remember where I was when I watched the Red Wedding. I was kind of fucking blown away by it. And one of my favorite like moments from it is, the Reigns of Castamere is playing, which is really fucking suspicious, but I still hadn't caught on is when Catelyn shows the Roose Bolton's wearing armor.
Yeah.
I was like, what the what? No, 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 no. And then everyone just starts dying. It's fucking
Dude,
brutal.
didn't they start with the fucking baby? Well, obviously the
Yeah.
unborn child. That's crazy. Like, cause that's like, dude, that's like the ultimate disrespect. Like, oh, okay, you want to marry her? That's fine. We're gonna start with your kid. Holy shit, dude. That is fucking. Do you think that he was always going to turn on them, or do you think that he was slighted by the marriage? Like, if
I mean, that's
Tywin sent
the
the letter in good faith or whatever, and he was still like marrying his daughter off to Rob.
That's the way they kind of frame it, is the Walder's not a particularly, they even say this, like he's not a very, he's a bit spineless when it comes to like exactly, he just wants to survive and fucking multiply. And I think he just saw the prospect with Rob was going to be the top tier one until he let's just say went back on their deal, and so he was like, yeah, okay, and then Tywin offered him something better, so he's like, ah, fuck it. So he you know, it's in the same vein, Tywin did this with the Mad King situation. You just side with the person you think is most likely to win. And not only that, but right, with this offer, it's like, so if you just slice the head off the Stark army and all their leaders in one fell swoop, it's like the war's kind of over.
I think the worst part of this scene for me is that they just killed off another wolf. At least we got to see this one do something. But fucking,
no, yeah,
at this point, Lady's dead. Arya's one whose name I don't remember.
Nymeria
is just gone. Just fucking just out of the entire show at this point. Fucking John's one is still kicking. Where
Ghost.
else? Yeah, where else is I mean, we lose
Summer
another one here.
Is with Bran.
Yeah.
But no, the show didn't do a good job with the Direwolves. I think it was because they found it difficult, because you had to do a lot of compositing and CG shit with how big the wolves are, and they were just happy to not have to deal with them, which is lame. Yeah, Shaggy Dog and Grey Wind. Grey Wind's the one that's really fucking sad that it died. Something that they people in chat, you have to remind me, because I remember this. It's like a vague memory, but I'm pretty sure the idea is when a Stark dies, they can walk into their direwolves. Like that's something that happens, or at the very least they can walk to some extent, because they've got like a bloodline for it. And so the implication is that Rob is killed and he walks into his wolf, and then the wolf is killed. It's like utterly fucking tragic.
Oof. Well, I guess that makes sense why you had to kill the fucking...
Well, they're going to kill the wolf anyway.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, I certainly would. Those things are horrifyingly effective at
So
ruining it. Dude,
can
Ghost
all of them
is so
do that,
badass
though?
in Watches in the Wall. I'd have to check. I'm not...
Like, can
I'm not
John...
enough of a-
Oh, John can't, because he's not fucking... Well, no, maybe he can. I don't know.
I can't remember
which
if
side of
any
the family,
Stark
where did the
can.
warg come from? Like, where did the gene come from? I assume they
I think it
got
goes
like a
back to,
thing when they picked up the wolves. I don't know if it's a bloodline thing.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it's a bloodline thing, but I'd have to check like wiki pages and stuff. I used to know more about this again, but that's one of the more forgotten mechanics. It's and you know, it's sad because it doesn't get used much in the show, even though warging is cool as shit. You know, you see the wildling. I think he was like a Then. He walks into crows and stuff to keep an eye on people, see what they're up to, and it's really fucking lame that they didn't do more of that. And it ties into what everyone's assuming, which was that they were averse to the more magical or supernatural.
Yeah,
D&D,
I remember
they
you
want to keep it more
mentioning
grounded.
that. I think when we were watching some of it, and it's like they kind of pick and choose magic. You know, like, oh well, we kind of need magic here, so we're gonna do some magic. And I think that's in some ways it's some of the cooler parts of the show, and in some other ways it's like some of the worst parts of the show, because they'll do some shit like they'll make like a fucking ghost projection Stannis appear, and that just, I don't know, that would be really useful at other times when he probably would have needed that.
Because it was someone just mentioned, it was the Pirates of the Caribbean dude in season 3, I think, and he doesn't trust John throughout the whole thing, and then John kills him and says, "You were right about me the whole time," which was kind of fun. And then he walks into his...
was it like, I should have killed you? You're right, you should have.
And he is it an eagle he has, or I can't remember, but he attacks John with it after he dies. Again, just like you get this tiny bit of what you could have had way more of.
Dude, I just love like all the little references, and you can do that when you have books. Like I remember, I was watching again. I did the whole rewatch of season 1 prior to this conversation to kind of get it back, and I keep mentioning it. But there was a line where like, obviously, so when Catelyn is like trying to arrest Tyrion. He's like, "Oh, I know your sigil. I know your sigil. Oh, you're from Walder Frey's. You're one of the Freys. Oh, yeah. Actually, we were gonna invite your husband to the marriage. He's getting married again soon." And then Catelyn would go on to kill that woman. Like that's just another cool one. Yeah, it was another one I noticed. He's like, "I'll get another."
Dude, that fucking moment is like, I'll kill your wife. And he's like, all right. I'll get over it.
Dude, yeah. And then she's just like, ah!
Yeah, man, it was rough. Fucking internet went crazy when that episode came out.
Dude.
2014 or whatever.
Dude, I literally was watching it and I fell asleep the episode before and I woke up the episode after and I was just like, wait, what's going on? I have to go back. And I'm like, I missed the fucking Red Wedding. I missed the fucking Red Wedding. Dude, there's no way. I just watched this. I watched fucking 2.5 seasons of this show and I slept through the Red Wedding. And I went back and it was awesome.
This will tie into when you see the next episode, but there's something that they're supposed to do for the story. The Red Wedding makes extremely meaningful, and they fucked it up. And it's again tied into this stupid shit with how they're like, no, too many storylines to cover, and also too much supernatural stuff. And I do perpetually hate them for it.
Can I defend them for 3 seconds?
No.
Too many stories is also probably the reason why the books are not getting finished.
Oh, whatever. That's like George's flimflammery.
Yeah, but dude, George is like, we got to add more characters, dude. They definitely could have done more with the show, but I think maybe they were like, oh, we got to cut it off somewhere, and they just
you understand that the broader perspective is that the books are in a better position than the show right now.
Yeah,
because
100%.
It's better to not finish than to finish horribly.
But everyone knows if the next book comes out. Is that
I mean, all eyes will be on
that
it.
Will be a very because the thing is like what I've been seeing is like if George writes it now, people are speculating that he's got 2 books, right? He can only do 2 more books for some reason. Did he like? I don't know why that's the case. Plan. Did he like lock himself down to 2? Because he's old now. I mean, he might not. I don't know if he could make 2.
He's promised like 10 more Duncan Egg books. So I don't even fucking think he can write one of those. We'll have to see. Like
But
the meme for all that.
Yeah, people are speculating that if they do get another book, it's not going to progress far enough. Where like if they make another one, it's going to be like the last book will have to cover so much ground. It'll be like basically impossible because he just keeps writing new POV characters.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ongoing discussion of just how much everyone kind of hates him for doing this. Just try not to. If you have this worldwide phenomena story everyone's invested in with all these different characters going all these different places, and then you just stop writing.
There is a really cool connection that you can draw between D&D and George, because when D&D was like, I'm kind of burnt and I don't really want to write anymore, didn't they say like Craig Mazin was willing to come in and finish the show, and they're like, I don't want to do that either, we're just gonna blow it up. And George is in a position
at the time. It was like, if you don't have the passion, please give it to someone who does, because the guys who made the early seasons, being them, they would have been perfect for the late seasons, but they disappeared. Whoever replaced them sucks.
Well, but George is in a position where he's like, I don't know if this book, because I watched the clip and he's like, I don't know, maybe whoever picks this up after I die, whoever picks this up, maybe they'll do a good job or something. Where he's like implying that like it could be like humorously or whatever.
Posthumously, there's lots of people who talk about it now. They're like, can we hand it over to someone else because you're clearly not doing anything? And he's like, I'm still alive. Like,
well, he's at that crossroads where D&D was at. Like, he's there.
Well, so the assumption with D&D is that they lost interest because they had plenty to do. But the assumption with him is that he's tangled himself in his story so hard, and the public perception of the story from the show is so bad.
I think that the issue that I see when people...
He's kind of just in a position of he doesn't exactly know how to solve the problems. And I mean, there's a lot of fear for what people are going to think of the book when it finally comes out. There's a lot of weight on that.
Yeah, I think that the people kind of tangle themselves up in like one specific reason as to why he's not doing it. It's probably like all of the above. It's probably that he's tangled himself in too many different ways. It's probably that he saw how the ending was perceived in Game of Thrones as the television show and not the Fire and Ice books, and there's probably a bit more crossover than he wants you to know at this point, and he's kind of just bummed out that people don't like the ending. And then also, he's probably just he's got writer's block. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Well, if he's producing other books, maybe that one's not as strong.
Well, but
it could be like specific to this.
He helped write Elden Ring, He's written like histories of the universe for different families and stuff. He adds to. He wants to write more Dunk and Egg novellas, but then he also needs to be writing Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire sort of books. So he's all over the fucking place, and he's also going to like all kinds of meetups and trying to get other jobs writing different things. He's involved in all kinds. He's done a play now for the Mad King. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, I want that to come to Broadway. I would definitely. Dude, listen, I'm on a play kick. I'm down.
I think because it's going to be in the UK. So as far
Yeah.
as I'm aware, Gary and Ryan are going to be coming to go and see it.
Usually
You're not
when
willing
it
to go to
goes
the UK to
Well,
come
no,
and see
usually
this,
they
huh?
come to me. Stranger Things started in the UK. And then
You're gonna
they
wait
came
that
out
long?
here.
Don't you want to see what it'll be?
Dude, I don't even have a
God.
passport.
But yeah, he's spinning a lot of plates, which is not a good idea considering how old he is.
You know,
So,
if I lived anywhere
you know,
else though, I actually would be like, all right, I gotta go to the UK because but like everything just shows up here, you know. For 3, we got kind of the red. Is there anything else on the Red Wedding that you wanted to talk about, or did we kind of hit that?
well, I mean, you know, it is exactly how it's talked about. It's like one of the most. A lot of people pick it as the best moment in the whole show, not because it's just people dying, but because of how well set it is. The one thing the show fails to do, I think, is to really make sure the viewers understand how much of a like horrifying move it was to kill people who were under the guest protection. It's something that this universe has more so than I guess would be regularly understood, but it's like a huge taboo to betray that sort of trust. And Tywin doesn't give a shit because it's like
Yeah,
well,
Tyrion pushed
pragmatically.
back. He's like,
Yeah.
that's-
Well, there's that, but there's also just this universe doing that it helps understand why it's so shocking because it was never going to be entertained. Nobody would expect that to happen for more than just the reasons we saw. But I mean, it still works. You know, really well as a dramatic moment. And yeah, they wipe out several important characters all at once. And they kind of do the thing of you had our main character and he died, and then his son is like, time to, you know, avenge my father, and then he dies. It's like fucking hell.
and then his son
Damn.
is killed and well, we don't know if it's a son or a daughter, but they're killed in the in the Red Wedding.
Multi-generational wipe out, you know?
Dude, triple kill. Yeah, crazy. So we've got. I don't really think we have. Is there much that we would mention in Essos?
Uh,
Dario Naharis.
yeah, he's fine. You know,
He's all right.
It's all, the main highlights for me are always just Jorah giving like pieces of advice. I think it's season 3. It could be season 2, where he says they're talking about like certain aspects of character, and he says something like about Daenerys' brother Rhaegar, that he fought valiantly, fought bravely, and he died. Like as a reality of how to engage with certain events and stuff. George randomly comes out with all these like interesting lines that are super helpful for Daenerys, and then she'll usually reply with some kind of, no offense, but oftentimes kind of boneheaded, like, I will do this because that is what I will do.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah, and Barristan's with her as well. Barristan and Jorah's, any discussion they have, I'm always interested in.
Daenerys comes off as kind of try hard. She's like, this is what a queen needs to sound like. I'm sorry, the Rangers have scored again. That's kind of my issue. That's my issue with it. It's like, I kind of, like, when things are happening in the beginning and, like, we're watching her kind of rise, okay, cool. But when things aren't really happening and she's just kind of chilling there and somebody walks over, like, yeah, my sheep kind of exploded. Your dragon, like, killed my sheep. She's like, oh, this is kind of hard.
Yeah, those are the more interesting moments because she still tries to. You remember the dude who says like, "You killed my dad," and then she's like, "He was a slaver," and then he's like, he actually argued against it pretty heavily. In fact, like, and he did everything he could to prevent it from happening, and you just fucking tortured him to death.
She's like,
It's such
I
a
guess
like,
you
oh,
can bury
yeah.
him.
I guess I get annoyed by her because the best you get out of her is like, okay, fine, I guess, yeah, that was a mistake. like it's, you know, it's like, yeah. But it's funny as well because is it this season that Drogon killed the sheep? Did it burn anything else?
I have no idea.
I don't want to spoil just in case, but there's just something that happens a little bit later that sat in my mind forever considering the final season. Don't
Um,
worry about it.
yeah, I actually don't remember on that one. I kind of that's one of the ones where like when things happen in like Daenerys land, that's kind of escaping me. Um, oh, you know what we didn't talk about? We didn't talk about Bran. Bran
Well, to be
finds
fair,
two
there's lots
people
of
in the
stuff we're gonna be able to
woods.
talk about because I was gonna say like Jamie and his hand and stuff, right? Or the
Oh, we
Hound and
skipped
Arya's
over the
sort of
hand.
adventures.
Like not the hand of the king, but yeah,
Yeah.
Jamie loses his fucking hand because Brienne was gonna get raped, and then for some reason Jamie decides to be like honorable.
Oh, I love it. It's like he sees it as sort of he doesn't have to lose too much to save her, and he kind of likes her at this point. Has a bit of respect for her, you know, and then it backfires hard, and he loses his hand. Which I love the way that whole sequence goes, but I have said to people before, I really don't like the song in the credits because the
Hmm?
implication is that we should be finding this pretty funny that he lost his hand.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah, I think dude, when the credits roll, I hit next episode. I missed that entirely.
No, I've said before in different streams that like it's like I thought it was just an excellent sequence of consequence that he didn't anticipate, and it cuts off basically the thing that gives his whole life meaning, which that guy, you know, he's like fucking with him, but for us, we understand exactly what that means, and it's kind of horrifying for him. And at that point, I'm starting to really like him because I didn't like him in season one naturally because he's like very antagonistic to Ned. But the more you find out about him, the more he's very easy to understand and like. Yeah, and then the show seems to take a bit of, you know, fun in him losing his hand, and I was like, oh, I actually thought that was really quite sad in the sense of like he finally did the right thing and saved somebody, and then he gets his hand chopped off for it. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, but like, I think coming out of season two, I'm like, oh, okay, so Jamie is like one of my top characters in this show, and then he immediately rapes his sister like right at the beginning of the next season just to like show
Yeah.
you that he's not like a great dude. Like I know you like listen, dude, I know you like this guy, but actually, we're going to have him rape his sister in front of his dead son's corpse. His dead incest son's corpse. And yeah, literally
Yeah,
I'm
it's pretty
honestly
rough.
I have to hit the button. Give me like 2 seconds here. Still going. And we're good. Okay, we're back. Yeah, he's like, listen, yeah, people clearly liked me too much, so we're gonna have to fix that, I guess.
I mean, he did, you know, throw a child out of a tower to defend
Yeah, but
the reality. You know,
that's the beginning. Then he has this whole humbling journey. He saves Brienne, he loses his fucking hand, and it's like, oh, dude, he's really on the up and up. And it's like, well, hold on, just a minute, all right? Let old habits die hard, you know, like his kid.
well, there's
Uh,
that, but there's also because it's kind of like the whole story. He explains why he made his decisions regarding the Mad King. I think really help his likability as well. And I think it's just a matter of everybody writes him off as completely worthless piece of shit. So every little piece of he's actually not as bad as you think almost is worth double score because it's like, whoa, he was like a really horrible person, but he's actually
yeah,
kind of cool on that front and that front. And then you know the actor he's just really fucking good at the job as well. But no, you're right. That sequence that was super controversial when that came
because that's
out.
not in the books, right?
Oh, fuck, I can't remember.
I don't think that's in the books, and then I think people were asking. There's got to be. I think there's a fucking quote, or I'm hallucinating it. That the D&D guys, like the brothers, were like, "Oh no, it wasn't rape because Cersei actually really wanted it." Or
That what unfortunately that was the discussion, which is not the kind of thing you want to be
that's
fucking.
not how consent works, Mister Brothers. I don't know what that's.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think whether it's like the son's corpse is right next to them, dude.
yeah, dude.
It's
I don't
so
know.
like. Ugh.
It's not good.
However, worth noting, the scene before that, where Tywin is explaining to Tommen what a good king is like a favorite of mine. I love that sequence.
Which one?
The one where Tywin is already preparing Tommen to be a king when
Oh
the corpse of
yeah.
Joffrey is right next to them. I think that's awesome.
Oh, before Joffrey died, though, I love the fucking scene where Joffrey is screaming like a fucking child, being like, "You were hiding away on fucking Casterly Rock, where my father was fighting in the rebellion." He
That
just
I
fucking
want to say is the end of season 3, is it?
yeah, it's like
Or is that season
the
4?
the king is tired. Bring him to his room.
Yeah.
I am not
Get him-
tired. Bring him to his room.
The way he just fucking looks at him. You know,
Yeah.
something notable about that scene too. Again, just showing off how Tywin can completely control Joffrey, which I love. But he tells everyone to leave except Tyrion,
Yeah.
and then he kind of just wants Tyrion's opinion of the situation. There's
I-
not because Tyrion doesn't really have any power anymore.
Yeah, I read
But,
it that he has like respect for Tyrion's mind begrudgingly. Like
I
he
think it
doesn't
keeps
want
him sharp to be able to counter Tyrion because I think he knows that Tyrion's kind of the smartest guy in the room.
I think he knows
It's
that
not him.
everybody else he's surrounded by idiots, and unfortunately, the fucking guy
Yeah.
who killed his wife is literally the only one he could. This is probably his biggest hell, is that he has to go to Tyrion because there's no other option.
Well, and then you get that scene runs into them back and forthing for a while about what's right and what the family should do and what sacrifice you have to make, and then you get that moment where he says, when have you ever done anything that like basically forced you to lose but was right for the family? And he basically says like, I wanted to kill you but I didn't because you're a Lannister.
What
And
have you ever done for the
dude,
family? I let you live.
it's so fucking good. Charles Dance is like bordering on breaking up while he's saying it, like as if Tywin is struggling to explain that like I wanted you dead, like so don't talk to me about sacrifice. It's such a like layered sort of wow, you're like a piece of shit, but also holy shit, man.
And at this point, I think like the only one that really is the only person that really likes him, Jaime.
Oh, even that's finicky. I don't think anyone really likes Tywin.
Well,
It's
it
hard
has
say.
to be no, not Tywin, Tyrion, but it has to
Oh.
be Jaime. Out of like obviously Bronn and stuff, but like I'm talking about like his family. Cersei
yeah,
fucking
Jaime.
hates him. Tywin fucking hates him. They both blame him for the death of their mother. At least like Jaime was the one who clearly was going around
Well-
every time he'd get himself into trouble fighting on his behalf.
Jaime and Tyrion are both kind of like there's a really good relationship happening there, but something is supposed to happen to their relationship in the next episode that they don't translate from the book, which is a fuck up.
Damn.
That's okay though.
That's sad.
It's fine, don't worry about
Now
it.
this guy's got no friends. What the fuck? Fucking. Oh, so that's still 4. There was one more thing that I fucking wanted to mention in 3, and I'm totally drawing a blank on it. And it had something to do with Tywin, or I don't know. It'll come back to me. Let's jump into 4 then.
Well, so 4, like I said, is intuitively almost my pick, I think, for my favorite, just because I just remember there's so much Tywin in season 4. There's so much sparring with all different kinds of people. Every scene he has with Olenna Tyrell is fucking awesome.
She's
because
great.
She's like the girl version of him. She's played the Game of Thrones just as long as he has. She knows all of the bullshit to manipulate people with. She knows how.
Yeah,
everything
like their
works,
little
and-
mental sparring match they had.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's got the upper hand, and then his son fucking died. On his son, his incest fucking grandchild dies. Like she won that. Do you think she wins that encounter? Like he wins the battle, she wins the war.
What for killing Joffrey? You mean? Or?
Well, it's like because she doesn't want her other son to marry. Oh no, that's after, isn't it?
no,
that
you're
this-
you're right. You're right. She doesn't want Marjorie to marry Joffrey. Joffrey. the
No,
monster.
she didn't want Marjorie to marry Joffrey, but I think that conversation was about her son marrying Cersei,
Yes,
not the other way around. Because
but like you
that
said,
only
she still
came up
gets-
after Joffrey was dead.
Yeah, because Marjorie marrying Tommen is way more chill for
Yeah.
her. But no, yeah, like that conversation, she up to this point kind of wins all the conversations she's in, and so does Tywin. But when they clash, it does seem like Tywin is still unbeatable because he's like, "I'll name your last son to the King's Guard, and he can't have any kids." And
Yep, in my
even
head, I
she's like,
thought
"Ugh."
that was about fucking. I thought that was about Joffrey, so I thought immediately after she killed Joffrey, I'm like, oh, that's kind of a badass moment. But no, it was the other way around. Yeah.
But still, she did her best, but he kind of cornered her. There's nothing she could do. And she says it's a rare enough thing to meet a man who lives up to his reputation.
Dude, it is
Which,
kind of
yeah.
crazy to hear that the entire country still kind of works the same way as ours, where like they're in tremendous amounts of debt, and the Bank of Bravos is more powerful than fucking Tywin Lannister.
Dude, just another great example of like Cersei in that conversation with him implies like, can't we just kill the Bank of Bravos? We don't owe them anybody. And Tywin's like, you moron! Like we can't just kill them. It
No,
doesn't
we can't just
work.
kill them and take their stuff. That's not the mechanics of the bank. Oh god, yeah, that's fucking funny.
This is what I mean. She shows so many different times how she thinks she's so much smarter than she actually is, which is something Tywin says to her, I think, right?
Well, it finally catches up with her now.
Yeah.
Like in this moment, this is where it starts to, because Tommen becomes fucking, dude. We go from guy who doesn't give a shit, who lets everyone fucking run his entire show and while he fucks and drinks, to psychotic Mad King-esque dictator, to absolute pushover who lets religion come in and completely destroy his kingdom immediately. Dude, like, we need to arm, dude, Cersei's like, we need to arm these people, and that she has no idea why they were disarmed in the past, and immediately finds out. Like, that's crazy.
No, yeah, it's the kind of thing. Every once in a while, you just think like, "Oh my god, imagine what Ty would have to say about all this." I just feel like, "You suck. You're so awful." He's similarly to Robert though. When Tywin dies, it like leaves everything open because you need that like unifying force in a figure that everyone is like, "All right, fine, yeah, we won't do XYZ because they're still there and they do this." Robert was kind of that for a couple of different people and different, unions and stuff. And when Tywin's gone, nobody has faith in like the Lannister leadership at that point because Tywin was top tier, but they don't know that Cersei or fucking anyone else is going to come through on deals, and they just don't command any kind of respect either. So it's similarly, I guess, with Ned at first because nobody really knows what Rob's thing is in like season 2.
Mm-hmm.
The king in the north. Eventually.
So with you want to talk about the purple wedding, because we mentioned Joffrey's death, but we didn't talk about like the actual, I guess again, like Tyrion.
That was one that I knew was going to happen because I'd read the books at that point, and I was very satisfied with how they did it. It looks so painful.
Half of this show, though, is just, I've realized, is just falsely accusing Tyrion of crimes.
Yeah.
And that leads into, I think, something that you really enjoy is obviously the, what's it called?
The trial by combat.
The trial. Yeah, well, not even just the trial, like just the trial in general. But yeah, no, that's another one where they're like having a wedding and I'm like, oh wow, this is like really close to the last wedding. Because this is like the very beginning of the season, right?
Yes, episode 2.
Episode 2, it's like, oh, dude, another wedding. Well, they're not going to do it again, are they? They're not going to kill another person at their wedding. Oh, wait. Oh, dude, the king. The king has died at his wedding. Okay, yeah, cool. That's interesting. That's fun. And then obviously we get the clip where she poisons him. But before that, he just completely just shits on Tyrion. Makes him the, the cupbearer and stuff. And he brings out like a midget to fight in front of him or whatever at the thing. Like that dude, Joffrey was like a colossal asshole to the minute he died.
Like I said, very satisfying for everybody that he died so painfully. It was like, yay, what a piece of shit.
Well, painfully, yeah, but I don't know. Do you think that was the best way for him to go out, like the most satisfying way?
Oh, I mean, you could suffer more. I'm just saying that you want him gone as soon as possible, but you also want him to suffer. So you get the close benefit of both.
Also this season we had Sansa, so like Sansa's whole thing where she like kisses fucking Littlefinger, and then like the whole Lysa thing happens, and she goes through the moon door, and then fucking Littlefinger's like, oh, I think that I think the kid should leave the Vale and just start chilling.
The Sansa Littlefinger plotline is I'm mainly thinking about where it goes, so I can't really say as much as I want to about like what I think of it. I guess it's there was potential there, I suppose.
I think, dude, actually, you know what we needed to talk about that we haven't talked about? I just remembered what it was. It's fucking Shay. We haven't talked about Shay.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of an important one because now it's all like we're here. Do you think at any point that like Shay actually, because this is like I've seen this disputed. Do you think Shay at any point was like actually in love with Tyrion?
Well, so there's a fan theory for the show that she was planted by Tywin early, which
really
will have. Yeah, there's going to be reason to think that that's very true in the next episode. But at the same time, it's really just you watch the performance and you have to sort of guess what you may think is authentic or not.
Is it different
it's
in the
complicated.
books? Because I don't know.
Shay doesn't exist in the book, I think.
At
Or
all?
I can't remember how the character as she stands is different. I used to know this back to front, but because she does exist, but she's different. She serves a different role. Like it's not the exact same because they like put. I'm trying to walk around saying the thing that's going to happen in the next episode. Is there's pieces of storyline that they clearly like moved over to her that was supposed to belong to a different character.
Is the other character the one you like,
better.
the Taisha person they mentioned earlier? Was she like active at this point of the book?
Yeah, like they make it all about Shay instead of that history, which goes way deeper and involves the family in a much more significant way. She becomes like the focus.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna be surprised with what happens to her in the next episode. It's kind of oh man, there's so many little things they changed that pissed me off so much.
Because what I noticed is, like, obviously the trial happened, right? And they wheeled her out. But I remember, like, right before, like, their last conversation, before we just see, like, oh, okay, Shay is, like, backstabbing Tyrion, he just absolutely shit on her. And I guess the difference in opinion there is, like, did Shay know that was what was happening? Like, that he was trying to push her away? Or did she just believe everything he was saying? That, like, he never cared for her, blah, 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 and then she just stabbed, like, him in the back?
I mean, like
I
a clean sort of take I had when I was first just sort of engaged with the story was that Cersei probably threatened something badly about her. She caught up to her because of spies and shit, and then basically forced her to say all that stuff. But then
she seemed like she was not enjoying herself, but she seemed like, I don't know, she didn't look like somebody who was hesitant to speak.
It's it's hard to say definitively. Like it's awkward because. I'm not trying to spoil, but like Shay, there's not much more to Shay's story. Let's put it that way. You've almost got everything, almost.
Okay. What else do we have here then? I think Arya and the Hound. Again, I've enjoyed. Well, that's more of Arya and the Hound, but I've been enjoying that as well.
Those two work really well together, chemistry wise. They're very funny.
They pick up a lot of the slack after Jaime and Brienne are not around anymore. Like, put together. Yeah. That's. I kind of like the whole. It's like a buddy cop medieval times thing they've got going on there.
Well, yeah, and she's picking up a lot from him, and he's simultaneously getting a bit softer, hanging out with her. Cares a bit more about normal things. It's just your typical, they're imprinting on each other sort of thing and bonding. And man, I'm quite fond of their storyline. I hope that one has a really solid conclusion. That's very good and not bad.
Oh, this is the Theon Reek stuff. I don't really like the Reek stuff.
I'm talking about specifically the Hound and Arya's.
No. I know. I was just going to the next thing. Yeah, that's I mean, so Arya the Hound.
Well, the Reek stuff's just rough, man. Like
it is rough.
He's getting tortured and tormented. He's the more interesting side of Theon's story is to come, which is ironic because, of course, you've done all the groundwork for like bringing him down. So there's a lot of to bring him back up somewhat, and we're not quite there yet, but we're also out of the good season portion. So
for Reek in particular, this is going to be a really stupid question because I imagine the answer is very specific. I wasn't sure if they cut his dick off, if they cut his balls off, or if they did both. Because I've seen people say no, they didn't cut his dick off. They just made it so he can't, like. I assume it has to be his dick.
Honestly, I thought it was all of it, but they focus more so on the I think they describe the pillar rather than the stones, but I think all of it is.
Yeah, they say that they're like the pillar rather than the stones, right?
Well, no, that
because like, dude, imagine they just left his balls.
I don't think they're ever specific exactly. So in chat they're saying stem to root. I don't know, root and stem. If that's it, I think they got everything. Unfortunately,
dude, they were gonna try to like siphon the semen out so he can keep his bloodline going.
Rough, man. It's his favorite toy.
Dude, we're watching like families get fucking destroyed here. I mean, like, really, how many Starks, Lannisters, Greyjoys? Who the fuck is gonna survive this? Are they just gonna have entirely new families by the end of the show?
Don't worry. The final set of characters that are in charge of the kingdom is extremely satisfying to the fandom. Absolutely, that council is made up of characters that, oh wow, just it made so much sense to have all of those there for sure.
You sound like you're being sarcastic, but I
don't know what you mean. I would never do that. I take everything very seriously.
Well, all right. The question I would ask, and I probably would have to save this until the second discussion, is who would you rather have? Because I don't know. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't know what. Like, if I'm
going to take, show,
yeah, if I'm taking characters that currently exist right now, I don't know who I would prefer to survive. To be honest, I don't even know which ones I would want. But I guess that's going to be shaped by their actions moving forward in the next like 30 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it gets to a point.
I just kind of want Cersei to die. That's my goal.
I feel that way about basically everybody by the time you get to the end. That's the problem. It's like, oh, who do you want to... It's like, none of them are the people I knew. They all either die horribly, like in a stupid way, or they die metaphorically, and then you're just waiting as their corpses wobbling around.
I think at this point, if I had to like just pick... I'm just going to like blast a bunch of characters. I want Tyrion to live. I want Jaime to live. I want Cersei to die. I don't know what I want for Jon. I think, dude, I don't even want to talk about Daenerys. I just don't even want to. I don't even want to talk about Daenerys at all. Again, what I know about Daenerys, that kind of answers what happens to Stannis. I think that Stannis at this point in time is probably the best king they could possibly have. Like at the moment, sitting at the end of season 4, despite the fact that he's got like a psychotic witch who's like informing on him, I think he's probably the most competent person to lead. So it would have been I don't know, it would be nice to see something happen.
It's just funny. You can name any character, and my brain will immediately be like, "Ha!" because of how they end. Let me just say this: Stannis has an ending, and it was so abrupt and bizarre that the fandom didn't believe it was his ending for a while. Like they thought it was something that the show was toying with, but it just turns out it's like, no, that's the end.
Oh my god. Brienne of Tarth, I could go either way on. I don't want her to die too quickly, but I don't know if she has to make it all the way to the end. Sansa, I kind of want to die. I want to explore what they're doing with Bran, because they've clearly got something building there. So, I mean, I'm interested to see where that goes. Arya, I'm assuming because you told me she has plot armor, she makes it pretty far. If not,
yeah, but yeah, you could say she makes it pretty far. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I kind of know that that Tywin is gone. He's out of there. I don't know, dude. I keep coming back to it, but dude, the most important character, Rickon. What is Rickon gonna do?
What is Rickon gonna do? We all ask that question.
We haven't mentioned Hodor. Obviously, Hodor is gonna be on the Iron Throne.
Well, that's the thing. Brad's story, Brad's plot line, it's very things do happen in it for sure. They sure do. I don't think it's anyone's favorite. Let's just put it this way: you wouldn't describe Bran as having the best story, would you?
I mean, thus far, I'm not really super interested in. I mean, it's kind of going in an. You know what? The Three-Eyed Raven shit. There's so much other stuff going on that I would be more interested if I was enjoying the season less. I think it's serviceable, but it's not really my favorite. But like everything's kind of good. Like this is a good show.
Sure. Yeah.
So like I think that if you took the Theon Reek fucking Bolton storyline and plopped it into a different show, like a thing of that quality, I would probably like it more. I just think the Reek thing is like my least favorite currently.
No, yeah, I get you. Because we haven't talked about the main, because Oberyn gets introduced early season 4.
Yeah, that's gotta, dude. That's a fucking crazy scene where he just immediately divulges all of the information that becomes relevant at the last episode we've seen together.
Yeah, they are quick and clean with getting you to understand exactly who he is, where he comes from, what he's here to do.
And it doesn't even feel
Along
like
with
it's
like
exposition dumping. It just felt like a natural, like,
that's what we used to have. They used to be able to do it with talent, man. They used to be able to cause these things to happen because we get the whole scene of him. He's like, he's fucking crazy indulgent. He loves like going across all of the different places in the world and just doing whatever the cultures like to do. But then you find out that he's not here for fun because of the Lannister shit, where I think he stabs a guy in the hand before he can draw his sword, which is and he's like he's just kind of like a little bit intimidating while also a lover of fun. And then you find out he's actually here kind of to kill Tywin in the mountain potentially.
and dude, the
So
fucking thing with Tywin and the not Tywin specifically, but the mountain, dude, the acting in that scene, I gotta say, it's almost as good as the Mandalorian. I'm fucking with you. That was, bro. You got super quiet, bro. I fucking got you. Holy shit! Yes,
I wanted to let that sit there for the chat.
dude. Oh god, Pedro Pascal takes a lot of shit. But is this your favorite Pedro Pascal?
Yeah, probably. This is the first time I took him much more seriously as an actor. The sequence, I want to say episode 7 or 6. I think it's 7, where he where he talks to Tyrion about how he'll be his champion. That whole sequence is like excellent. It's
I think he's great the whole
ridiculously
season.
good.
He's great in that. Yeah,
He is the great the whole season, but in that one, it builds you right up because you think that Tyrion's screwed and there's no way he can get out.
Mhm.
You know this guy, and you know what his goals are. And then you slowly realize as he's telling a big old history in how they connect as like families. And then he grabs the torch and he says, "I'll be your champion." It's such a like holy shit because he's the Viper is like a top tier fighter. So it not only is someone who will fight for Tyrion, but someone who could actually win.
yeah.
Um,
It's surprising.
yeah,
I didn't expect him to be like because I mean he kind of dances on the mountain for most of that fight. You know.
that's the thing, man. You think maybe for a second there that he could maybe come through, and it's just like the book. I thoroughly enjoyed that part of the book as well as this. I think they nailed it for adaptation as well. He does gradually just win by being unable to be caught, and then he gets caught up in he thinks he's got them both, if he can just get Tywin to admit it or the Mountain to say something.
Did the
He gets
mountain
too
like?
close.
Did he die there? I
Well, the
assume he
story's not
died.
over. Story's not over. Oh, that's what I like to say. Yeah.
Oh, did he have some Arya armor? Because he got fucking stabbed.
I mean, I don't mind saying he's not only been stabbed and slashed. He's the Viper's blade has got. Let's just say you can see in the scene someone is rubbing something on the blade.
No way, bro. No way. So he put a dead man's hand on this thing, even if he lost, the guy still dies.
There's another thing I wouldn't mind mentioning about how fucking cool Oberyn is in terms of what he did as a backup plan, but you're gonna have to at least see one more episode before I can talk about that.
Okay.
Something they have in the book, I don't think it makes it into the show. But yes, he's let's just say the Mountain story is not over.
I'm looking at the rest of season 4 because we're probably gonna look to wrap up soon. I think.
Well, I mean, Watches on the Wall is.
Yeah, that's the last thing. That's it. Yeah, I was John's.
It's
I was
the
about
best
to say
episode
that.
as far as I'm concerned. It was fucking excellent. It's directed by Neil Marshall, who made The Descent. Who some people in chat may know. We actually spoke to him about that movie because I think it's one of the best horror movies ever made. He is top tier in the direction of this episode. There's so many character payoffs. It's all focused on the wall. You don't even realize how much you care, I think, about the people here until you see all this.
Yeah, because you're
start to
locked
play
in on the
out.
trial, and then all of a sudden it rips you from the trial to the wall.
And man, just there's so many great payoffs throughout this. You get to see them push to their limits. So many men who are like, desperately courageous in defending what seems to be like the final shield of the realm. You buy into it. All the oaths that are said. Like the thing is, up to this point in the show, the wall is almost seen as a bit of a joke. Like nobody cares about it, and you send disgusting criminals there or something. But these guys are like locked in, and they're doing everything they can to defend it. And you even know the wildlings to an extent, right? So the Tormund and others seeing them get involved it's really fucking engaging. And the one shot I always remember is when John first comes back down and you get that one that scans around the entire Castle Black, and there's just loads of fights happening with loads of significant characters all over the place, and you just completely buy that it's this huge war that's happening, and that every fucking fight matters. So it is a top tier episode.
Dude, they're so good at that
TV.
too. They are so good at like making the world feel bigger with what they have.
Well, it's crazy because in retrospect, when you say like as I do, my favorite battle sequence and episode is like the one where the wildlings attack the wall. It doesn't sound as special as every other fight where it's like a major family on a huge battlefield or with dragons or with armies of undead, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, this is actually just a group of wildlings trying to take down a limited Castle Black. But it's because of the way they do it, the way they execute it. It's fucking amazing. It's top tier, like I said.
Yeah. One of the things that you said when we were watching it is like how in later seasons, I assume like 6, 7, and 8, it feels like, because like everybody's just kind of like teleporting around and shit. And what I like so far for the entirety of the show is that, again, like you'll have these things where you'll have like Jaime walk off with Brienne and they're just on their own secluded thing. It's just like the world just feels so fucking big. You can have this entire battle happening right now at Castle Black, while simultaneously the trial is happening hundreds and hundreds of miles away, and it's almost like its own like little. It's like the storylines are separate, but they're also like intertwined. Did I say 6, 7?
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry, 6, 7, 6, 7.
I'm sorry. People have said it like on the shows I'm a part of, and it's hard to disagree. This show was like beloved worldwide. It was a unironic phenomenon.
Dude, it still kind of is. I saw a picture of Lionel Messi, the soccer player, football player. Sorry, Mr. British. But he was just sitting there, him and his wife, fucking smiling cheek to cheek with Kit Harington.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of like the revelation, right? So the season end was so bad that it like wiped out its cultural impact. But then people were like, I think more accurately, it's not that it wiped it out, it was that it like made it go into hibernation because of the damage. It's like it's still there. People still care a shit ton about this show and this world. And so with the new properties coming out, as long as they're good, it can like regain a lot of that goodwill. But funnily enough, Stranger Things was considered the last hurrah for like a unifying TV show that the world was watching. And then it had the same catastrophically awful ending. So it was like...
But there is something different. Game of Thrones didn't have an animated spin-off where they added a fucking Make-A-Wish character. Releasing like 6 months later. Yeah, dude, I don't know what the dude, this show looks terrible, my guy. It looks horrible.
When is it out?
I think in like a month.
And you're gonna be watching that day one.
Oh,
right?
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm all in. I'm not going to the theater though. They're putting it in theaters for a 55-minute 2-episode release. Oh dude, I'm so there. They didn't have an animated spin-off.
This is true. I went to the dentist soon after Game of Thrones season 8 was out, and they felt the need, unprompted, to tell me how much they hated season 8.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the pain from like them extracting a tooth was weak in comparison to the...
What was so remarkable to me is like, I rarely do I even talk to a dentist about media or anything, and I, just doing the normal like small talk or whatever. No, I don't even remember bringing up TV or movies or anything. And they were just like, I was watching Game of Thrones last night, and like, it's such a horrible ending. It was awful.
Wait, does your dentist know that you're MauLer?
No.
So that this guy he just happened to be just shooting the shit about Game of Thrones with with the fucking movie guy. That's crazy.
Well, it was bizarre for me because it told me like this show has pissed off so many people so passionately, so all over the world. The dentist is just randomly going to tell their patient or whatever like they hate it, unprompted. It's like this is the kind of damage it did.
Dude, this is the moment where MauLer truly became MauLer.
When the episodes were coming out of season 8, people were so fucking angry that you could just like stream. I can't remember if it was Gary or Drinker or myself or like Geeks and Gamers, but we would just like stream. This episode, our thoughts, and you'd have like over 10k people within half an hour. Everyone was just like flocking to these streams to be like, what the fuck has happened? They've destroyed everything I care about. And we were like, yeah, it's kind of insane. Which is why when Stranger Things was collapsing and people were like, "This has got to be like the biggest, craziest destruction of a TV show." It was very much like oh no, like it's big, but no, not the biggest.
This is the most famous recent destruction of a TV show. Well, that's the thing is, you
Exactly.
told me, you're like, this is not even comparable to Game of Thrones. Look, this season sucks,
Yeah.
but it had so much more room to fall here. And we're literally, dude, me and you right now are standing on top of the wall. Okay? Just looking out at like the drop, and that
Yeah.
we're jumping off the wall.
Well, unfortunately, it does happen in slow motion to an extent. The line is usually drawn between season 4 and 5, but like 5 has good stuff in it, 6 has some good stuff in it, 7 has some good stuff in it. Maybe even 8 has like a scene or two. But
Is season 8 like the way I talk about the rise of Skywalker? If you clip it into 30-second segments on YouTube Shorts, I can kind of enjoy what's on the screen if I remove all of my
maybe.
thought.
What it comes down to is just the remaining actors being able to deliver things in an engaging way temporarily, and then you go back to like the ratio of good stuff to bad stuff starts to just horrifically turn, and it sucks.
Also, I have to go back to this. When I called you MauLer, somebody immediately wrote first of his name, and that just fucking killed me. That just killed me. I just literally sent me into the fucking shadow realm. I think we can probably start. Is there anything about we? I guess we really haven't mentioned much about the trial, and that's just like dude. There is so much to like in 4. I just assume that whatever I see is gonna make me hate this season as a whole. But because the thing is, when you're comparing seasons of the show, if this episode is really bad, there are like, I think season 1 is largely flawless for me. I think a blemish like that would take away from me saying that I think it would be.
Episode 10, it has a couple of problems that I'll probably go over you with is ways they've adapted that. It's like, well, it's not the worst thing in the world if they didn't include XYZ. And it's like, no, it'll be the worst thing in the world for the future. If they don't have these elements, then they can't do these storylines. And that's exactly what happens.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And not only can they not do the storylines, they then have to consolidate what's supposed to happen on particular storylines into current ones. And it starts to just damage everything because it's just a really normal, consistent thing you're supposed to do when you adapt. If you're not going to include a thing, you need to know what it did and you need to account for that early on. And they just don't. Then the other thing is like the episode is filled with a couple of things, like chat. I'm not a particular fan of what happens to Jojen. I think that's retarded, and I'm not a fan of
I don't even know who Jojen is. Did we meet
figured.
Jojen?
You know who it is if you would. Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to say it to them without spoiling it for you. I don't like what happens to Sandor either. But that one's more controversial. A lot of people like that sequence. I think it's shit. But I'll go over it with you. Don't worry. You'll see. We'll go over what you think.
Oh, dude, if we talked about the trial, I do want to mention that I kind of get my payoff from the battle here, because he's just like done. Tyrion is fucking done when he gives his speech where it's like, I saved you. I should have let Stannis fucking kill every last one of you. He goes on his full villain rant. Actually, we had a YouTube drama where this person was harboring some bad actors in their Discord server, and they were being accused of like a lot of crazy shit associated with that. And they posted that clip of the episode like the night after we watched it, right? And I'm like, why do you think that the clip is like Tyrion being like, I wish I did everything you accused me of? And I'm like, did you not watch this before you put it on your feed? That was for chat. If you don't know, it's the leaflet person who, yeah, like that. That was not a good idea on their part, but that speech is another damn good one, bro. Peter Dinklage. I know people aren't too keen on him now because of his arguments about like who should get certain roles and stuff, but fuck, he's so good in this show.
No, yeah, when this episode came out, people were talking about how he's probably the best actor on the show. He was doing fucking amazing. He's nailing all of it.
Like all the stories where it's like, oh, I always wanted to kind of have a different kind of role, but I never expected to be given this role. It's cool, dude. It is cool.
I love the Tywin sets all of this up perfectly to get exactly what he wants, which is Jaime as his heir, Tyrion over to the wall, out of sight. and to end this whole fucking controversy with proper justice as far as the public could be aware, and he'll even calm Cersei down and get her married. Everything's working. And then he's like trial by combat, and Tywin's like, "You fucker! Like you ruined everything." And that little like face off they have at the end of the episode is so awesome.
Yeah. Oh God. Dude, this show is so good, bro. This show is so good. Dude. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know where it could. I have like a morbid curiosity to see what happens next, but it is. I'm already mourning what I haven't seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny to talk about it in 2026 because, like you mentioned, when it was coming out, this was just one of the more unifying like pieces of media that was coming out. Everyone watched it, everyone talked about it, and then next week, same thing, and then next year. But the more time went on, the less. I was about to say the less it held over culture, but it was still a fucking giant when it came to the end because everyone wanted to see what was going to happen, right? How is everything gonna?
My chat's gonna
Ugh.
roll their eyes, but they don't do this a lot for new shows because you got to understand the demographic for this is a lot older. But they made this game a pinball machine. I listen. I get it. Funny being pinball man, but pinball is like last year they came out with Jaws, and then they made like X-Men or stuff like based on the comic books and stuff. The demographic of people who are playing these like pinball machines, they don't typically pull for modern shit. Like Stranger Things was an anomaly, and Game of Thrones was kind of an anomaly, and now nobody wants to buy that machine anymore because of what happened with the show. People are like, "Oh, you want to remaster Game of Thrones?" Like, no, no.
But it's really a thing. Like merchandise of any kind, it makes you think of the thing. So the thing kind of needs to be good.
Yeah. Even though now with like the rise in popularity, people want to go back to Westeros because of all the new shows. It is kind of nice as a consolation prize. Like this show is going to get taken from me swiftly, but there is cool stuff to look at after.
When you wrap up on Game of Thrones, you'll have probably by then, hopefully a bunch of good seasons to check out and other shows. But
Yeah.
no promises. All right. The thing is, everyone's very concerned because House of the Dragon doesn't have source material to work with like Game of Thrones does. It's a history as opposed to a screenplay you can adapt from a book. And then A Night of the Seven Kingdoms actually is less finished than Game of Thrones, like the source. So we're fucked no matter what, pretty much.
Ugh. Well, I mean, I think that people can do. I don't think that Game of Thrones without source material was impossible to make in a satisfying way.
They certainly could have done better. Yeah, when people say
It wouldn't have
what were they
been
supposed
as
to do, it's
good.
like they could have tried to run the race instead of shoot themselves in the face right at
Yeah.
the beginning of it.
Because again, I understand like having the books makes you have so many opportunities to put in this the kind of shit that I like, right? Those little fucking comments and stuff here and there about like the Greyjoys or like the fucking the guy with the face thing, the Stranger Things man from the prison. Like that's the cool, but you can do that because you have all this source material, and if you're writing the show in real time and you're not George and you don't really kind of know the direction that you're going in, it is a lot more difficult to put in those finer details. But again, I think that's probably the least of the worries of the later seasons if I'm being led to believe what I've heard.
Don't worry, you'll get full context soon enough.
I'm very excited. I think we should probably wrap up then because I think what are we at? We're at. Oh no, this is the 2 hour. Oh no, it's not the 2 hour because we got hit off, right? Where are we?
According to your stream, we're at 2 hours and 43
2 hours 43.
minutes.
Oh, we actually, dude, we hit this. That's like,
yeah, we're perfect.
Okay. So what else you got going on, buddy? What's your plan right now?
I gotta do some recordings immediately after this for some other stuff with some other people because everything is non-stop. But I also, it's funny because we'll do a part 2 of this eventually, and it'll be once you've seen all that the show has to offer. I think at that point I might invite like Ryan Kinnell or something he's a way better lore master. He hated the way it ended, but he has remembered like almost everything. He'll be handy for questions that go beyond because some stuff I can't answer to you because of potential spoilers, but then there's a lot of stuff I won't be able to answer just because I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I've forgotten a lot of shit about the show, honestly, let alone the books. So it's what they did to me,
It's
man.
definitely been insightful for the episodes that we've watched together, having somebody who is knowledgeable on it. Even if you
A
haven't
lot
seen
of
it
stuff I'll end
often,
up saying
like
is things that
recently.
come to my mind like as we're watching it because I'm like, oh my god, I remember caring about this. Oh my god. So it's kind of weird, man.
Oh, they're asking if you've seen the show Dark. You watched, I think, the first season, right?
First, either season and a half or two, and I thought it was really, really good, and I would recommend it. But I got lost at one point, and then I realized I didn't know how far back I would need to go to recall where I was, and then I was like, okay, I think I'll just rewatch the show someday, which I have yet to do.
If there's ever a lull in content, which there never is, 'cause media, I need to force you to watch that. I need to know if
Wow.
you think that season 3 is bad, okay?
Ooh.
Because people are there's divisive season 3 people, okay? That it is not a universally enjoyed season, so I need to know your opinion eventually.
Very well.
Let's see. So you got that going on EFAP this weekend, right? Saturday, per
Yes,
usual.
and I believe we're talking about Project Hail Mary, which is a film that came out that is not shit, which we like.
What?
So,
A good
yeah.
movie?
I
How?
apparently I can't
They
really.
make those?
I don't know anymore. Hollywood, they might be trying to trick us. Who could say?
Dude, next season of EFAP movies is The Good Ones, and we're gonna watch all the good ones
Well,
together.
we got a comedy arc eventually coming, and that's nothing but good movies in
Oh,
theory.
dude,
So
that's sick.
we'll try and get you on an arc that's good movies at some point.
That's so funny, dude. Fucking, dude. I forgot which ones they've seen. Oh, it was Chucky. They saw Chucky.
Yes, they've seen
Yes,
Chucky.
they've seen Chucky because I think they're the last place we left off, and I keep mentioning this every time we talk on stream, is that I still don't know. I've still not seen the end of Mithrigan.
Did you watch the video though? Because you don't really see the film if you've seen the video.
No, I've seen up to the point where like that specific point, but I refuse to know because I don't want to know if the robot fight happened because I know it's going to be underwhelming.
It was great. It was so good.
Was it the best robot fight? And
It was.
Did it rival some of like the Terminator stuff
Yes.
in Terminator 2?
It beats Terminator 2 easily. My goodness.
Oh my god, that's
Wow.
fucking crazy. All right,
Can't
you want
wait
to
for
hit
the Freaking 3.
you want to hit some supers?
Let's do it.
I got a couple. So let's see. I don't know if they're going to be because I didn't see any of them as they come in, so I don't know if they're going to be memes or if they're actually questions about stuff. So
Yeah, it's all good.
Let's see. Okay, here we are. Dude, auto bees transform and buzz out. So that's like a bee reference to Transformers. So there's not really much to say there. But thank you, Jack Diamond. Joe Nana said MauLer needs to show Nick more movies and shows so we can get a review segment going consistently. We watch like a decent amount of stuff.
I think they're going to be surprised with how much you've actually seen on EFAP because it's not out yet.
That's definitely one of them. But we also watched what was the fucking hockey movie we watched recently?
Oh yeah, Goon.
We watched Goon. we just chill and watch Goon.
Me and Nick watched Goon, chat. All right,
dude. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not saying it the other way because that would sound. Never mind. Dude, the chat. Wait, you watched what, dude? When they made that movie, they didn't realize what the word goon would mean. They didn't know. No, not heated rivalry, chat. Jesus fucking Christ. We got a couple donations from Mysterious Senor Hitler, who said, MauLer, would you say that, I assume this means, ASOIAF, is that just...
The Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh my god, that is a really long acronym. Is a low fantasy world quickly becoming a high fantasy, or a high fantasy world returning to the height of its power?
So is either I'm not sure if this is a question of genre or they mean in universe, like over time, how it's sort of like there used to be a lot more magic that it died down and it's coming back in universe, like over eras and stuff. I'm probably not the best person to ask because I always mix up my book and show stuff, and then of course because that's A Song of Ice and Fire is more so the books. or World of Ice and Fire, depending on how you refer to it. It's for me, it's like knowing the show canceled out so much magic, but at the same time, the world magic has sort of depreciate over time, because you know the comet, right, the arrival at the end of season 1, that's supposed to signal like the re-emergence more of magical like elements, and then the White Walkers and shit. So hard to say exactly. I'm not the best person to ask. I'm not sure how I would categorize it. It's kind of difficult because high fantasy and then low fantasy, depending on just how much fantastical elements or supernatural there are. It's a difference between the two sources, and then kind of your definition of how much would qualify. So ask Ryan and Gary; they would have a better answer than I would.
Dude, they need to get the writers from Marvel's What If to create like what if fucking what is it, like the Long Night? Is that what if Rob and Ned Stark survived until the Long Night, dude? That's what they need to really bring back the joy to this franchise, don't you think? It has to be animated, yeah.
What if we just did season 4's ending and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 again? What if we just did that? We could do that. Let's do that. That's a great what if.
Mysterious Senor Hitler again said, also from MauLer and chat, do you think it would be better if characters were like they described in the book, silly as they can be at times?
So this is probably referring to some of their outfits, or like some of them have dyed beards and stuff. They're a little bit more wacky. I've never liked shying away from source material things that are a bit crazier because you like think that it won't work. I know that sometimes it might be the best choice or whatever for whatever.
Oop, I think you fell into
a void. No, I would have preferred that they commit to the wackiness of the world, especially when it's thematically relevant to a house that they're in. There's some stuff in the Night of the Seven Kingdoms that are already kind of playing into it, but they always dimmed it down. They didn't want to go too crazy with it, and in some ways, I think they missed out on some stuff by doing that.
Tespe, I'm sorry if I'm like annihilating your name right there, said, I like when Ned draws his sword and says, is this what we're going to have to do? Also, MauLer, Nick hasn't seen Tropic Thunder. Oh my god, why are you outing me for this? What the fuck?
First of all, travesty, you haven't seen that movie. You'd fucking love it. But don't, at this point, you're not allowed to watch it without me, okay? We'll sort that out at some point. But secondly, I love you always reference it, right? It's fucking Boogie. Like, is this what we have to do now?
Wait, oh my god, that is! I didn't even realize that. Wait, that is
Ned pulling out his fucking sword and saying that is great.
Dude, having sex with a Stark is the only thing that brings fucking Littlefinger joy in life, okay? Well, actually, she's a what's her name? It's not even a Stark. She is a Stark now, but it's fucking, what was her last name? I always mix up. It's not Tarly, it's Tully.
Tully, yeah.
Dude, for the first watch, I thought Samwell was related to Catelyn. Like a distant relative to the family. I didn't realize those were two different houses. Mysterious Senor Hitler said, it's crazy when Grandmaster Pycelle is also General Veers from The Empire Strikes Back. Wait, what?
Yeah, same actor. And
oh my god.
He's the bad guy in the third Indiana Jones movie. I'm forgetting his name.
No way. I did not know that. I don't know anything though. I do.
He's really fucking good as Pycelle. I quite enjoy the performance. You love to hate that character.
Yeah.
He's kind of perfect at
it. Bailey, the anonymity teacher. We have a teacher in the chat. Okay.
Whoa.
I can't believe Nick of House DeOrio is challenging Ian of House Jomha, second of his name, ruler of Cucks. Awesome. Dude, perfect. Ian of House Jomha, by the way, is hilarious because that is his wife's last name. Scrimpin. TV is for old people and girls. I ain't watching no TV, bro. Miss me with that Superman, Star Wars, Star Trek, decay of my mental faculties. Jokes aside, the company that made Game of Thrones made a show about Roman history. Oh, didn't they have... Wait, I read this on Reddit, and I don't know if this is real. Did the D&D guys make a show about, like, what if the Confederacy won? Or am I getting trolled?
I I don't remember that. They made the Three Body Problem, I think, after this was their next project. I'm not sure what you're referencing with
I don't
that
know
one.
what I thought, dude. I read that the other day. It's like their show on the Confederacy got canceled. I'm like, wait, when the fuck did they do that? LMAO, they sure tried to make that show. Are you trolling me?
I got no
people are
context
saying
on
Nick
that.
is right. It got canceled. Unless I'm being super trolled right now.
No, I mean, it seems like people think it happened.
Well, dude, my chat will
didn't
lie
hear
to
about
me. Lying is... Hassan Piker said that lying is powerful. So my chat has the right to lie. Okay. What else we got here? Teddy! Man, the Ethan Idubbbs drama took a weird turn. Dragons are involved now? Well, the Scorched Lagoon has been here the entire time, so... Bees XC said, you have to see the spin-offs, though. Dunk and Egg are my favorite comfort characters. I saw recently, I don't know if you see this, that it was like a wholesome moment where the character who I assume plays Egg because he's bald went as himself to school for like a costume thing. Like he went as his own character.
But that does sound very wholesome.
But you think those shows are definitely worth watching?
Oh, for sure. The first season of Night of the Seven Kingdoms, you don't even need to know anything about anything. It's just a really good show in and of itself.
Good.
It's only 6 episodes, about the size of a movie. You could get it done in one night.
Oh, okay. You know what? That sounds fucking awesome. Vandalman8 said George has writer O block. Writer's O block? I don't get the reference. O block is like the road in Chicago, right? Like that's where like 6ix9ine went. Vader said, best to say Severance was the best thing that comes from 2024 and 5. I feel like you're going to disagree with that, but I didn't see Severance.
I didn't see Severance, so but I hear a lot of people say it's real good. Though I've seen comparisons drip into Lost because people don't understand where the fuck the story's going, if anywhere, which is not a reason for me to want to watch it. I'm thinking I'm going to wait until it's wrapped up, and then I'll probably decide if I'm going to see it.
The Jaime and Brienne bath scene is a top 5 for me of the whole series from the RWBY Familion.
You said the Jaime talking to Brienne in the bathhouse. Yeah. That's where he talks about why he betrayed the Mad King and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Vader said Jaime is only cool because of the show. He's a monster in the books. I thought the show is where he's worse, but I didn't read
Jaime. Well, most characters are more evil in the book. One of the things that the book has is everyone's ages are reduced, which makes even more issues with certain events. As you can imagine, they aged up a lot of characters because I don't think even HBO are willing to portray certain things with certain ages. A lot of people are like, why did George do this? It's like, well, I think he was inspired by history, unfortunately.
Oh, I know what you mean. Kit said, Nick, the GOAT, I hope you're doing well, man. Hey, MauLer, quick question while you're here. How are you feeling about the new Lord of the Rings movies coming out? I read the synopsis and I cried.
Yeah, you should.
There's a new movie?
So again, The Hunt for Gollum, which, as far as I'm aware, is either like 2 films or even fucking 3 at this point. I don't even know. They're going to be bringing out
I thought The Hunt for Gollum is when you force everybody to play the game.
I do, and you will do that one day.
That's The Hunt for Gollum.
It's my job to find like a new selection of 5 people to play it, and I will do it eventually. But no, yeah, we got that, and now they've confirmed that Stephen Colbert and his son are writing another.
Wow! Yeah, film. Wait, why?
Because he's a mega fan, and I don't know how he got it. It's guys, we can fight against it for as long as possible.
Dude, I hope John Oliver gets on the script.
Lord of the Rings is going to get brutalized, just like Star Wars. It was actually talking to Fringy about this. I was like, if you look at the timeline, Star Wars has its original trilogy, and so does Lord of the Rings. And then Star Wars had its prequels. Lord of the Rings kind of has the Hobbit trilogy. It's kind of their prequels.
Oh, no.
And then it's like, Star Wars then moved into the sequels, and it's like, Rings of Power is kind of the sequels in terms of just like this horrible thing that happened to the franchise. And it's like, and you think of where Star Wars dies outright. It's a little bit further than that. It's when the Disney Plus shows start to pour out. And it's like, I feel like Lord of the Rings is not too far away, like a handful more years. And so
it's like an inverted trajectory. They put out the Disney Plus shows first, but now the movies are coming to kind of do what the Disney Plus shows have done before them.
And it's so sad because Lord of the Rings is such a fucking cool IP, and it just feels to me like if they put out
Is it really
enough
that cool?
crap,
There's not enough rape and incest in it for me. I much prefer the Westeros. That's what George basically
it's the
said,
fight that keeps
dude.
coming up. What sucks is that a lot of people would tell you, and I don't think it's unfair to say that Lord of the Rings is the superior, more concrete, like thought out, better universe with better stories to tell than A Song of Ice and Fire. But everything that's fucking coming out for Lord of the Rings is gonna suck balls.
Yeah.
While these Game of Thrones ones, like, there's a lot of redeeming qualities about a lot of the ways that they make it. So it's like, fucking hell, we really ended up with drawing those cards, I guess.
That was Kit. Calvin R. What is your opinion on Battlefield 6?
Oh, I don't really care about Battlefield, like, at all.
That's just kind of an
I'm sorry.
ongoing joke on the channel. I haven't played it either.
Okay.
Ian Sharp said, at some point, I'd like to see you guys talk about Severance, Succession.
I haven't seen it. Oh, I've seen Succession.
I haven't seen either of these. And I know anime is cringe, but the Vinland Saga, I don't know what the fuck. I've never even heard of that one.
Anime is more than capable of being awesome. Don't you worry. I haven't seen Vinland Saga, but I loved season 1 and 2 of Succession. I thought they were top tier TV. Season 3 was rocky, and then I kind of hated season 4, and that's how it ends. I thought it kind of fucked up all the characters, and I didn't like it ending.
Speaking of anime, I'm gonna piss them off because I'm gonna refer to a not anime as anime, but like just bear with me here, bro. I saw the worst fucking post on your subreddit. They were comparing. They were fucking comparing. Dude, I found it. Holy shit, dude. They were comparing Across the Spider-Verse to fucking The Flash. I don't care how bad you didn't like Across the... To be clear, your subreddit like lampooned this guy. But bro, this is a... Dude, this is a crazy... I would rather watch The Flash than Across the Spider-Verse any day.
You said they compared. It's worse than that. They say they'd rather The Flash than Across the Spider-Verse.
Dude, I saw this shit yesterday. I was like, bro, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. Holy shit, dude. That's not anime. I'm sorry, you inspired me to bring this up. I have to address this. This is insane. It was like crazy.
What did I say that got you on this?
No. The chatter is like, oh, you need to watch anime. I'm like, anime, animation, Spider-Man. Okay, bro. Dude.
No, The Flash is an abomination.
Dude, I love when all the dead actors are just standing there and they look worse than fucking Tarkin looked in the fucking Rogue One movie that came out a decade earlier. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I just had to completely go off on a tangent there for a second. We got like a couple. We literally have one more, I think, but I have to refresh to make sure that nobody else popped in. Or we have a couple more. Toggle Fire. Okay, I'm here, bro. You got to take me out to dinner. With how much time we're spending together, people are talking. What's up, MauLer? Hope your night's going great. I don't get that one. Let me see. Pacers 00, love you, big dog. Any main channel hints? MauLer knows what I'm doing. That's
I do, and you know what I'm doing.
Yes, so that's your hint. All right, Stingy said, fantastic stream. I got an Australian drama recommendation called Mr. Inbetween. I think that Ray Smith is better than Walter White or even Tony Soprano. Oh my god, that's a people been crazy like.
Mentioning that a drinker started watching it, and once he's wrapped up, if he gives it a hearty recommendation, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. Okay.
I was like, dude, that's like a lot of that's a hard sell though. Tony Soprano and Walter White is a big invocation there.
Dude, the thing for me is there's so many films, TV shows, and games I gotta get through. It's insane.
I gotta watch The Sopranos. So my chat just reminded me. I've never seen that show.
I haven't seen that either.
Jesus.
I know. It's one of my biggest shames.
Neo226 says the ASOA a song of fucking Ice and Fire or whatever it is pronounced asswife. I don't think that's is that how it is? I don't know.
Asswife. Sure, we'll go with that.
Anna Nielsen said Hassan needs Cuba's whole power grid to shock dogs. True. Nicholas Cruiser, but what is Sarah Bellick Gaming? I think
that's a reference to my Goodell videos. I could be wrong, but that sounds like a quote from one of them, which I haven't done in years. But It's basically me bullshit. I just say a bunch of nonsense.
Um. Oh, okay. Wait. Jack Diamond said, "Ask MauLer about Wolf's quote on Tolkien versus George."
So we're talking. Oh, I think this might have been around season 8 coming out, but Wolf was an immense, passionate fan of Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, and then the frustration with everything George had done in terms of not writing. I can't remember exactly what prompted him, but he just really angrily yelled that Tolkien would rape George. It's funny as hell.
No, dude. Jesus Christ, that's funny. And I think last one. I hold on. I think one might have just squeaked through. No, we got it. Smash Bro Legend said, MauLer, how did you like Fallout Season 2? Is it the best written season ever or the best season ever?
So the lore with that's kind of funny. Fallout is something I've always been kind of into and kind of not. Like I've come in and out of this series. I played the shit out of Fallout 3. I know a decent chunk about 1 and 2, and then I didn't really play 76 or 4, but I've seen like extensive reviews of them. So you know what I mean? Like my knowledge of Fallout is really weird. It's like I know things I probably shouldn't, but I also don't know lots. So then the show comes out, and I watched one episode after everyone's hyping it up, and I thought it was absolutely awful. And I was on a show saying what I didn't like about it and how much it didn't make any sense. And I got loads of pushback from people saying it's like, you're saying this doesn't make sense when you haven't even seen like what it means or how it turns out. And I was arguing like it can't make sense either one way or the other, like this, whatever it turns out to be. And people were like, wrong, wrong, wrong. And I was like, fine, I'll watch more. And I did. And
they hit you with the Trump? Wrong.
And I got so passionately annoyed that everyone was celebrating how amazing the show was with how stupid everything was. I was like, fine. And I started actually just making a video. And then that video, I believe it was originally supposed to be like 20 minutes. It became longer. Let's just put it that way. And I had to get some help on that front as well with editing it. But it's one of the only times where I was just I was slowly indoctrinated into having to see the show and then review it. So when season 2 was coming out, I was like, I'm not watching it. I refuse. I will not. Because I'm probably going to hate it again, and I'd rather not deal with all of this. I'm busy. I'm making other stuff.
You know what sounds like a catastrophic decision? You know what will be joining Stranger Things and Game of Thrones as being one of the few on TV or recent shows to get a dedicated pinball machine? Fallout. They're giving Fallout seasons 1 and 2 its own pinball machine.
I mean, it's apparently well watched, and people like I've seen season 2 got a lot more criticism than 1 did, which I was happy to see. Like it's not as impactful as it was, but it's still getting watched by a lot of people, I think.
All right, I think we could probably wrap. I don't want to keep you too late because I kept you 15 over. I very much apologize for that because I know you got stuff to do and people to see. But thank you for coming and hanging out here. This was a lot of fun. I haven't done a dedicated movie stream or like media stream on my channel ever. This is the last media thing I've done on my platform was the the 13 Reasons Why video I made like 6 years ago. So this is kind of like deviating out of my comforts. Even though I've been on EFAP and I've had a good time over there, that's always with like, 5 or 6 other people in most cases. So this was a lot of fun.
Well, and we can excite the chat that they'll get a part 2 in X amount of time once you're wrapped on the whole show, and that'll be even funnier probably.
Dude, as soon as I'm gonna watch the last episode with you when you have time, and then I'm gonna gun through 5 probably.
Yeah,
because I have been fucking itching to watch more of this show.
We'll knock out the 4 finale, and then you're set free to do as you wish.
I'm gonna deploy. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna probably pop out now. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I can't wait to do the second part.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Later, man. That was fun. That was a good time, guys. Update for regular channel content on the show, regular normal stuff. We're off tomorrow. We will be back on Friday. And for this VOD, obviously it was a little different. We didn't have TTS and all this stuff. We're actually just going to leave this public. So I'm probably going to leave the stream up and you could watch it at your heart's content tomorrow, the next day. It won't be bound by membership or something, because it's a bonus stream for every thing. Yeah, this is a Dean Withers now. Guys, we've managed to not do Dean Withers in a 3-night extravaganza. I am exhausted, and I had a fucking ton of fun being here 3 nights in a row. I'm going to fuck up my schedule more next time, I think. That's my plan. But yeah, we're back to our every other day schedule. Tomorrow's an off night. I'll see you Friday. We did our donations already, so there's no donation end of stream thing. I could check out who to raid into. Let's see if there's anybody around. Where's my West Coasts? Starkiller. AB is live. So I'll send you guys over there. Thank you so much. Can I set it public now? Before or I probably have to do it as soon as it's over. Okay. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for coming out. I hope you had a fantastic time. I know I did. This was a fun, it's like a hobby for my hobby. So later, gamers.